it came out in like January. Let's see. Haley Williams' new album was pretty good.
Oh, I haven't. Man, I want to get into that. It's just, if you like like it's just not. Oh, they did the Paramore.
Let's see. There's a lot of good ones here. King Cruel.
I've never heard of that. It was what kind of album? Rap album?
It's pretty. Nah, it's pretty jazzy, pretty funky.
I'll have to check that out.
Kind of stuff. Yeah, it's like alternative, but kind of jazzy, kind of funky. There's a lot of funky. Oh, Code Orange. If you like hardcore,
good. That's a great album.
Yeah.
I was telling Ian about that.
Yeah,
I'm just putting out the Facebook ad.
Childish Gambino's new album.
I see it. It's his last one. I haven't listened to that yet.
I have some personal friends from. Oh, now you're online. Yes, BG. Now we're online.
Yeah. No.
Personal friends just dropped a new album called New Devils from Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
If you like Southern blues and Southern rock and Southern
I'll check
soul,
it out. I'll check out anything.
Then New Devils. It's called Thoughts and Prayers. I really like the album title.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The 2 Nine Inch Nails albums that dropped.
Yeah, I've only heard a little bit of them, but
they're really good if you like ambient music. Thundercat's new album was really good.
Yep, I heard that.
My Dragon Ball Durag.
My buddy turned me on to him, and I was like, "This is actually like, I don't want to say I like it, but I actually really do."
Fuck Tory Lanez.
Ooh.
The Mountain Goats' new album is really good. Fiona Apple's new album is really good.
What album was the trash album this year, though?
The trash album this year. So far.
My favorite album this year, by the way, was is still After Hours.
After Hours is really good.
Because I love The Weeknd.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Body Count's new album was pretty shitty. The Ghost Inside had a really good album. This band called End, it's all capitals, END, was really good. This Will Destroy You dropped a new album that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Breonna Taylor's album was good, but it was just too long. There was too much filler.
I thought Halsey had the most shittiest album this year so far.
Halsey had a pretty shitty album. Riff Raff dropped a shitty album.
Okay, but when does Riff Raff drop a good album? Like, don't...
Peach Panther?
No,
are you talking about?
Get
are
out
you
of
talking?
here.
Are you talking about the Neon Icon?
You beach bum motherfucker! I swear to God.
Went live mid combat. Yeah. We're
talking about Alien in 2 minutes.
Colin Stetson dropped 2 new albums. He did the Bark Skins album, which is really good, and he did the album for the soundtrack for The Color Out of Space. If you don't know who Colin Stetson is, he's doing the music for he's doing the music for
Uzumaki. Yeah, I was about to say, I just saw the Toonami teaser. Was it yesterday it came out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm really pissed because I was like, oh yeah, when did that original trailer drop? It was last year it dropped.
Yeah, last year. Like, it's supposed to be coming out in September, but they've had to push it back.
2020, yeah.
Yep. Also, if you haven't listened to Phoebe Bridgers' new album, go ahead and grab you a bunch of ice cream and cry and listen to Phoebe Bridgers' new album.
All right, let me see.
It's called Punisher by Phoebe Bridgers.
I'm adding this. Good thing I have Apple Music. I've been listening to just a lot. It's her first album or no? It's not.
No, it's her second album.
Okay, cool. All right. Actually, you know who had the best pop album this year? And I'll fucking fight people on this. Dua Lipa had the best sophomore album.
Dua Lipa had the best sophomore album this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amine had the best junior album.
Okay.
If you haven't listened to Amine's new album, it's not anime. It's not animine. It's Amine. Pronounce it right.
See, I remember. Oh man, I've never listened to this guy past the. What was the one big song he did? Caroline.
Caroline. Bright Eyes had a really boring album that just came out.
Limbo is what you're talking about with Amine?
Limbo. And then Vic Mensa just had a new album come out.
Oh my god, Vic Mensa.
And then Tim McGraw had a pretty shitty album that came out. I always listen to Tim McGraw. Yeah. But that's the stuff that sticks out to me this year.
V-tape. Okay, I'll listen. I do like Vic Mensa.
You're like, look at this dude wearing a Vampire Ball t-shirt with his fingernails painted. These two studs.
These
with
two
their bandanas
kings,
on.
you mean? Yeah, we decided to talk about bandanas. We decided to wear bandanas today.
Bandanas.
I feel like
I've got like 15 different bandanas. I've got so many.
I only have like 2, and like
Ollie, how many bandanas do I have?
I need like ones like yours with patterns on them. I feel like that's my shirt today is. Oh, you can't really see it, but it's. Oh, man, I'll stand up. It's
Stand up a little bit.
Oh, it's from Persona 5.
Ooh.
I got that from the Atlas booth at Anime Expo last year. Oh man, I'm like.
I got this from Endless Night Vampire Ball. Black Magic was the theme last year. I got
LARP?
to go thanks to no, not the LARP. It's just the world's biggest Halloween party.
What? Where's this at?
This is in New Orleans. I got to go because Ravnos couldn't make it.
Wow.
So I went down to New Orleans and I got to hang out at Vampire Ball.
If the pandemic is over, you going again this year?
Next year, yeah, because this year it got canceled.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I just need to do more events with people. I just like, I was really mad because like we did PAX Unplugged, and then I was actually on the team. I was gonna be like at Gen Con and at PAX Unplugged with everyone as well. It would have been awesome. And then
were we running games?
We've been having
doing
fun.
Karaoke. Howdy y'all. Howdy.
All right, I think we talk quite a bit.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like how you did that. It was like a podcast.
Yeah,
or something where you just like brought it in mid conversation.
You're just like fuck it at this point.
It's fuck it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's good. It's good. Let me see. We got quite a bit of viewers. If not excluding, I'm gonna count Broken Golem. I shouldn't because Broken Golem is like our soldier in arms, but it's enough.
That's true. We would have met your big dad in person at Gen Con.
I know. I mean, I could technically go meet your big dad right now, but
if I could fucking fight COVID-19, I would. I hate it so much. It is put. Yeah. 2021. I'm going to. I hope Ravnos doesn't go back and watch this, but I'm gonna fucking die next year. We're gonna go to karaoke or something, and I'm going to die.
I was telling people that's all I had to do because like if we go to PAX Unplugged, cause it's in like my hometown of Philly, and technically Big Dad's hometown of Philly. We have like some of the best karaoke bars in like Chinatown.
I was supposed to go to PAX Unplugged as well.
We would have been so cool.
It was gonna be my first time in
it's
Philly.
It's not canceled yet, so who knows? And it's supposed to be in September, so let's see. I mean,
it's online, isn't it?
No, it's not canceled yet. It's still registrations haven't opened yet, so
I'm not going. It's September. I'm not going, even if they.
No, it's November. You're fine.
It's November, but yeah, like I've already canceled my time off for it. It's not this stuff is not going to be over with before. It's not like okay. So we're supposed to be talking about Alien right now, but I'm gonna get on my soapbox real quick. Even when we vote fucking El Cheeto Loco out of fucking office, it does not mean that COVID-19 is over with.
Who knows if El Cheeto Loco? I like how you call him. We can't get political in the stream.
We can't.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's been a wild time.
2021. I was just telling someone today that like I feel like I caused 2020. But it'd be an inappropriate story to say on the stream. But I'll tell you after, Wes.
Yeah, tell me after. That'll be great. Like after dinner, man.
Oh my god.
Hi everybody.
Hi everyone. It's been a crazy ride for us. You know, this is fuck. I can't believe I'm only gonna have you for this episode, and that's it. It feels.
Then you gotta talk to somebody else.
You just gotta let me know another game you're willing to talk about for 4 hours, and then we'll do it again. Oh.
I read all of Monster Hearts 2 today.
Oh my! There you go.
I read the whole book today.
I would feel very guilty if I didn't have Brian on for that.
You have to have Brian on for Monster Hearts. Have to.
I actually haven't even asked him about that yet. But Brian, if you're interested in doing a deep dive on Monster Hearts,
come talk.
It's okay. Wes will have me on Carrion Crown eventually.
Yeah. I mean, I'm planning on having
comfort. Carrion
Crunk.
That's the Pathfinder adventure.
Carrion Crunk. Yeah, I'll have you on Carrion Crunk eventually. No, yeah, I'm gonna have everybody on Carrion Comfort eventually.
Carrion Crunk is like the after hours stream.
It's my goal to slowly just like Kirby just envelop Gehenna Gaming. I'm gonna be like Activision and buy you guys out. I don't know. Where you get to operate by yourself,
implying that if there was a rank under Insula, I would take you. I mean, you're on the mod team. Whatever, we'll get you eventually. I'll convince the others.
Yeah,
we'll absorb Carrying Comfort.
Oh man,
we'll call it the Borg.
That's stressful.
That man,
being absorbed is just stressful for me in general.
Oh, that's a cursed image.
me, big boy, me getting absorbed.
Getting absorbed. Someone draw the Gehenna Gaming skull eating the Carrying Comfort bird.
Oh no,
that's Vor.
If only.
If only.
Have your lawyers call my lawyers.
It's just you like using another voice.
It's just me with a different voice.
I'm the lawyer.
It's just me using my Australian accent that we did for Alice is Missing.
Oh my god. I forgot about that. Because you don't hear it for the entire thing. I hear the voicemail. It's like, what the fuck is this? I learned how to do a Scottish accent from Lewis Capaldi today.
Okay, do it.
I had to practice it. He's like, you gotta appreciate like Oz of ooh. It was just really weird, but he was like reacting to Scottish accents, and he was like, Scottish. He's like, oh, when I saw Shrek, I can't even do it. I can't do it. He's like, when I saw Shrek, I just thought that's just how ogres talk. I didn't even realize he was doing a Scottish accent.
He's not doing a Scottish accent. Yeah. He's heavy with the Scottish brogue. Yeah. You just drop consonants and just have vowels.
You just sound like Ringo right there, but okay.
Yeah. Oh, are you both typing on this account? Yeah. Okay, we need to talk about Alien.
Okay.
What is the show? What are people watching? We didn't even introduce the show.
We didn't need to. It was just rambling for 3 years. I've lost control. It's been a busy week. I'm going on vacation in 2 days. 2 days.
Dope.
So this is my go home show.
Oh, nice. I love a good go home show.
There we go. We're about to
wrestle. As a wrestling fan, I love a good go home
promos.
Show.
All right. Yep. So here's the deal. This is, as you can read in the title above, The Deep Dive, the show for game masters by game masters. The idea, we pick a system, we talk about it, we go super deep in depth, tell you how to run the game, how to understand the game, and such. Basically that you get a toolbox, but by the end of this episode, you'll know that system, or the end of the parts. So last week, we kicked off the show, the first inaugural episode, with a game that's near and dear to our hearts, Alien the RPG. By Free League Gaming, or just Free League.
Free League Publishing. It's just free, or just Free League.
I don't know how you say it in Swedish.
Fria Lagen.
I think that's
Fria Lagen.
Fria Lagen.
Fria Lagen.
It sounds like you're saying Free Aladdin.
Fria Lagen.
Fria Lagen.
Fria Lagen.
If it were so simple.
There you go.
So. Yeah, and then I have the master of the Alien RPG right here, Wes Franks. Wes, they saw you here last year, but maybe there's some people that are just tuning in. Why don't you introduce yourself and explain why we're wearing these bandanas?
Hi there. My name is how to pronounce Free Lagen. Yeah. Hi, my name is Brother Wes. I'm with Carrion Comfort Studios, a Twitch stream, as well as now a YouTube channel. You can go subscribe now. But I run tabletop RPGs. I talk about tabletop RPGs and horror and writing and story crafting and character development. And I also stream video games over on my channel. And about to be streaming Vampire the Masquerade over on my channel. And the reason I'm here talking about Alien the RPG, if you weren't here for the first episode, which you should watch it, it's a really great. We go really heavy into it. But I ran for the inaugural Virtual HorrorCon, I ran a streamed game of Alien the RPG. It is over on Gehenna Gaming's YouTube channel. You can check it out right now, as well as their other great actual plays and the first deep dive episode, as well as Worlds and Crafts and a bunch of other episodes. I know they just dropped today the interview that Rick did with you today. I think that dropped on the YouTube today. So yeah, you can go check that out too.
Wow, I just wanted you to plug yourself. You just went all out and like, damn.
I've been doing this for a while, and by a while I mean like 3 years. You just plugged us as well. Okay, well I don't need to plug. My name is Nick Francia. I am the stream producer as well as occasional host, gamer, and all around silly boy on Gehenna Gaming. I want that on a name tag. All around silly boy. Yeah. Having Wes on here is like a dream. Wes, one of my really good friends from the TRPG side of things. Awesome, instant friends. But yeah, you can catch Wes on some other stuff that he might not have mentioned. He was just on the horror at Redstone Academy, which is a fucking great time, and you should give it a watch. Especially if you like bad Southern accents, posh British boys, and talk of the Kama Sutra. It's great because you played a Southern guy with a bad Southern accent, and I'm from the South, and so I got to witness that. But then I got to use a bad British accent that kept dropping in.
Yeah, and as everyone knows, I'm from England.
So yeah, of course, well, around there. But yeah,
I'm from America. What do you mean around there? Okay,
it's like across a pond or whatever.
Yeah, it's close enough.
You know? Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, we're here to continue our talk about Alien the RPG.
After 20 minutes of bumbling around like idiots. It's cool though. So when we last left off, let's see what we went over so far. We told you about Alien. We told you how you set the stage for it with setting and environment. We talked about the xenomorph and other dangerous animals and beasts and whatnot, and just environmental hazards. We talked about the players and their roles and how they interact with the game and how you should interact with them. And we talked a little bit about mechanics. I think we built a predator monster in the last game, which was awesome.
We did, yeah. We did. What's the word? We homebrewed a predator right here on stream.
Yes, the alien kind, not any other connotation.
Not the other copyrighted thing that's copyrighted and owned by 20th Century Fox. And owned by Disney.
Yeah.
No, it's the predator from Alien.
Yeah, it has an E at the end of it instead of an O. Oh no, it also has. I don't know how to spell predator.
Preditore.
Preditore.
That's where I went with the E. I was like, yeah, E with an accent. It's Italian.
Preditore.
Yeah.
The Predator. Did we talk about? You want to let's get more into just kind of like know-hows for everything. Let's talk more about mechanics.
Mechanics in general.
Yeah, just what. So going into this, there's some pretty simple mechanics for Aliens. What do you think in your mind is like the? Is there anything you homebrew that you're like, I feel like this would make for easier play than what's written in the book?
So like we said before, it uses the Year Zero engine, which is you develop a dice pool using your skills and your attributes, much like the Storyteller system, but you use D6s instead. It's pretty cut and dry. Cut and dry. The combat mechanics are pretty simple, cut and dry. The stealth mechanics are pretty simple. I enjoy the panic system that it has in it. The only thing that I don't utilize in my own game, like attribute, like system-wise, is the spaceship mechanics.
Because they're just a little bit too like.
It's everything else is so light and crispy. It's like eating a bruschetta. So you have your little bit
bruschetta?
Of bruschetta.
Isn't it bruschetta?
Bruschetta or bruschetta, either way. So you have your bread, you have your basil, you have your balsamic glaze,
your chopped tomatoes,
and you have your fresh mozzarella. It's nice. It's light. It's crisp. It's good. It's light. It's so good. It's so simple. Character creation is a breeze. Everything's a breeze. And then you get to the space combat section.
It's just a Chicago deep dish pizza.
And deep dish just fucking falls out of the sky and hits you like a sack of bricks. And that's not to say that it's not a good space combat. It's not. It's an excellent deep dish pizza. but it's a lot. It
feels so out of place.
Yeah. So I in my own games, I typically simplify the fuck out of it. Like I keep it to like rolling skills and attributes and stuff. Like
they do in Chariot of the Gods.
Yeah. Like I keep it to the character instead of like having to roll for the ship itself, because they have a whole section in here. I was just looking at it earlier. They have a whole section in here for like the different kinds of ships in here. Like you have the Bison, which is the Nostromo. Then you have like the Corso, I think, which is the with the Anisadora from Isolation is.
And they have the Betty on there, right?
The Betty, yes, they have the Betty. They have the Conestoga class frigate, which is what the Sulaco is.
Yep, and they have the Covenant original.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, ever since COVID-19 has hit, there's been a lot more like virtual online games. And this game, much like a lot of Free League's other game lines that you buy from them, comes with a map with tokens and markers, because it has like a full like a map of the Middle Heavens, as well as a space combat map that you get with like that map right there, and then you get the space combat map, which is just it's a grid, it's a square grid system that you move back and forth.
Yeah.
With like using tokens and markers. It's the same thing that you use for combat as well. I am a theater of the mind nerd. That is, like unless I have miniatures and stuff like that, I don't want to fuck with it. Or if I'm doing a Western March campaign, which is Western March campaign, if you don't know, is you have characters
drop in, drop out.
Drop in, drop out. If you have multiple people that want to play, but you don't have enough time, enough like room. Drop in, drop out, and then you typically go out, explore an area, and then you try to come back, like within one session. That's the whole. It's much like a tactical RPG, but you're playing it with tabletop. Yeah. And like I like having like physical stuff for that, but like if I'm running Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, Tales from the Loop, Monster Hearts, blah blah blah, all this other stuff. Like if I'm looking at half other than D&D on my shelf, Call of Cthulhu, Scion, Kult, it's all being run from Theater of the Mind. It's because like when you're bringing up charts and maps and tokens, it just complicates things.
It just turns to a board game and not a tabletop game.
Yeah, exactly. So that space combat, because like you have distance and zones, you have different crew positions where everybody that's playing has to get in a different position on the crew so they can make sure they're doing navigation or comms.
And I'm sure some people will really enjoy that, because some people are mechanic junkies.
Yeah, Warhammer people would love that. Like people that play like any Warhammer 40K or Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game.
Is Crunch Monkey a good term to like?
No, let's not use that, because I respect all like tabletop. Like I play in a Warhammer Fantasy game. It's crunchy as fuck.
Yeah,
but it's fun. I don't know. So I just Crunchmeister, I guess.
Crunchmaster. There you go. I could see that. Just mechanic, like a mechanics junkie in general, just like someone who really likes that stuff. Because some people play, certain games. Like if you have a table that wants that, sure, go ahead. But I feel like if you have a table of newbies, or maybe they're just really into the role play, go ahead and axe that if you want. I think that's the game really isn't affected by it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to get your opinion on this, because I do this thing. I have a limit to how many times you can roll panic in a single scene, because what ends up happening towards the end of the game, when everyone has like high stress levels, people just roll panic all the time. And it's just and most of the high level panic is everyone around you starts panicking. So it's like one person panics, everyone panics, and that one person panics again, then everyone panics again, and it's just
it's something that I learned, especially from that stream game at BHC with the panic system, is that having it rolled every time slows down the game as well. Do like how Call of Cthulhu does it with their stress rolls. Sometimes called sanity rolls. I like to call them stress rolls. But roll. If you get into a stressful situation in the game, roll a panic roll. Whoever gets experience with it, roll a panic roll. If they fail it, have everybody else roll a panic roll. There you did it. You're in that scene though. That scene and whatever has caused the panic is still within that scene. If that thing goes away and they move to a different scene, then you can have them roll it again.
Yeah.
But that one and done style is like
You're
thing.
Because you would already be panicked. Like you can't re-panic from saying the same thing in front of you. Like your panic's just going to continue, you know?
Yeah, and like I love rolling dice as much as anybody. I have so much of them. I love rolling the little clicky clackies. But like when you're rolling it for everything, it's kind of, and I love that a lot of tabletop RPG games are going into this now, where it's like don't make your players roll for everything.
Yeah.
And it mentions it here in this book is like don't make your players roll for everything. There's some things that your players are capable of doing because they're just able to do it. There's some things that your player, like if it's a high stress situation, then yeah, make them roll for it. But if it's like something else, then I mean, there's no point to it.
Yeah, if it's something that's gonna. Also, I like to always take the gumshoe approach of things, where if there's a roll that they need to absolutely make to progress the story, don't make them roll for it. Like, why would you? Like, it's like I always hate that. It's like the door, like opening a door. If there's only one way in, and then you open the door, so it's either you try to open the door. Okay, they can't open the door. So, but they can re-roll to open the door. Well, it doesn't matter then. There's actually no like challenge in trying to open the door.
Yeah, and well, that's when I do something a little bit different. Where that's if you fail the roll, the door still opens, but something happens.
Okay,
consequence happens. Yeah. So like if it's one way in, one way out, the alien is coming through the vent and they're trying to get out the door is locked and they're trying to unlock the keypad or whatever. Have them roll that one roll, and if there's multiple people in there, then just like if they fail it, then okay, everybody make me this kind of check.
Yeah.
And then whoever fails that was like, okay, well then you get damage taken to you. You either get a little bit of acid on you, or you get a little bite chomped out of you. You get scratched or something, you know.
Scratch, taking a bath.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think that's a good way. I think progressing through failing is definitely like something we can understand. I feel like that's a mechanic that's kind of slowly getting back into light. I actually really like. I feel like we'll talk about this more in like other games, especially like Monster Hearts and Power Play Apocalypse in general. But I love the mechanic of progressing while failing, because it makes failing a little less, sucky.
Yeah. Because I mean, the reason why you're playing tabletop role-playing games and not just reading a book or something is to have an active involvement in it and to help shape the story, and you want things to actively happen, which means typically for exciting things to happen, things have to go wrong.
Yeah.
So it's okay for things to go wrong.
It's expected.
It's expected. Yeah, exactly. So it's not an issue. And like it says in the game, it's an alien game. So your character's probably going to die. So, I mean...
Ride that shit out.
Ride it out. Like we said in the last episode, ride it out. Like just hop on that bad boy and just see how long it can take you. And then just make it epic. Just make it epic.
Go out in style.
Yeah. Because if not, I'm going to take you out like it's nothing. Like it's one of those, like it's Green Room. Like it's a Jeremy Saulnier movie where people just die and you're like, what?
Cry like a bitch, die like a bitch.
Yes.
We're very after dark today. It's whatever. It's rated.
We're wearing bandanas.
Okay, and Charles Dance in Alien 3. Yeah, he goes out random, but he had a really good arc up into there. He did what he needed to do. He gave the autopsy to Ripley. The autopsy on Nuke. He just did a lot of autopsy. He was the voice of reason, and then him dying served a really good purpose in terms of it was like Ripley's kind of like only ally, and showed her that the xenomorph will continue to take stuff from her, whether she wants to fight back or not.
Yep.
Fucking cool. All right, this next point I have here. Tables are your friends, and this game has just enough to help you out.
Yeah. This game has plenty of tables. I can flip to most of these pages, and it'll give me a table. Here's a table about encounters. Here's a table about building a ship. Here's a table about weapon pickups. Like, even like how you play the enemies, how you play like the xenomorphs and the other beasts in this game are like you use their attack off of a table. You roll a d6 and that determines on how they attack. You can just choose how they attack.
Yeah, because if you do just rolling off, sometimes you get to the point where it's just like staring you down every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or actually, if you do a natural progression from like the first row to the next, like it you know, an alien will stare you down at first, then it'll approach and try to do a slash at you, then it'll actually try to jump on you and hit it with its tail, then it'll go for the kill.
Yeah.
So it's a really good way also how they like tactical, like if you just kind of need something on the fly.
Yeah.
But you can also remix it. I think, and one thing I do like about the tables is they're not overwhelming.
Nope.
Which is nice.
Nope, not at all. Ship reactions. I just rolled to another one. Ship reactions.
Ooh.
If you pass by another ship, how does it react?
Like it just starts shooting on you?
Yeah, like dismissive. If asked for information or assistance, the ship will decline. They're friendly. It's a familiar vessel. If it's unusual, or if they'll fucking just ball out on you.
Minor, like ship damages, like minor component damage, major component. Like, it's so cool. I love how there's just a wow.
They have a plot twist table.
They do. Where's that? What's up?
350.
Okay.
So yeah, so if things are getting kind of stagnant in your game, then roll on this plot twist table, and then all of a sudden, oops, something malfunctioned, so you gotta go fix it, or a time limit happens. Or...
here we go. Yeah, scenario hooks are. I'm not gonna lie, this book is pretty hefty, so I forget a lot of the information. Sometimes I just need a refresher going through.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of info.
Oh yeah, for expeditions.
It's worth the price.
Yeah, a lot of these are for campaigns, which is really nice. But you can, it's easy just to make a quick scenario off of here.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, but it plays into it with the tables and everything like that. This system, this game line, has, on page 330, if you're following along in your book, has a way to create your own star systems in it. It has multiple tables to determine what kind of, hold it back up a little bit. Put a hand, I can hold it up too. It's kind of, the overlay is... So creating your own star systems right there, page 330. It has tables on to determine what kind of star type it is, whether the star in your solar system has, and the star system has, if it's a giant, main sequence, red dwarf, whatever. And then determining whether its brightness and its spectral class of the star itself. Mm-hmm. Then it has tables of rolling how to determine the planets. Their names,
their size
size, what kind of atmosphere it has, what's the temperature like, the geosphere, is it a desert world, is it temperate, is it wet, is it a complete water world,
the terrain of it, planetary.
And it goes into if it's an ice planet, what kind of terrain it has, is there a colony, what kind of size is it, what is the colony's mission, what is in orbit, is there a survey station, is there a full-blown fucking
cattle ranching and logging, like
how many factions are on there? Is it one dominant faction that runs the planet? Is there two balanced factions, two competing? Is there one dominant, one weak? Are there three competing factions, or are there multiple factions? Determine if you roll with 6.
And what the factions are. Do you have newcomers, corporate representatives, scientists, workers, security, military, colonial leadership? That's the one you have to worry.
Cool one is colony allegiance. Who's the colony allied to? Is it Wayland Yutani? Is it LaSalle Bionational? Is it Siegson? Is it Gustafsson Enterprise? Is it independent? Is it just mining? Very cool.
I like how they specifically tell you that like these independent these like companies are underneath other companies. So like it could be you could be under the I can't even pronounce that. The 12. The
Chiguza
Corporation, or no allegiance. You're under Wayland and Tawny. If you're under LaSalle Bionational, you're under Seegson. It's funny, if you're under Seegson though, you're under the Jing T Long Corporation.
Yep, Jing T Long, which bought Seegson.
It's really cool because LaSalle Bio National actually comes into play in the Chariot of the Gods scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is, and Seegson, which is, we know Seegson from Alien Isolation.
Isolation, yep.
So it's really cool how like all of it comes back into it.
It all kind of fits in. The universe is interconnected, which is something to keep in mind when making your own campaign or your own cinematic scenario or something, is keeping it all looped in. I've been playing through Alien Isolation over on my stream. I'm finishing it up tomorrow.
Nice.
Pardon me. So if you want to come watch that, come watch that. But I'm finishing it up. But like one of the great twists in that game, because you're running around on a Seegson like Sevastopol station.
Mm-hmm.
It's owned by Seegson, and they're shutting it down because they're losing money. Seegson is they're constantly losing money to Wayland Yutani because they can't keep up. And you find out at one point in the game that somebody has bought the scrap for Sevastopol Station, and they've bought Apollo, the AI that runs the station. And then you get to the mother system, which is the heart, the core of Apollo,
mm-hmm.
to go figure out what's happening and try to reverse Apollo. And you find out that, in fact, it is no longer Apollo, it's Mother, who's run by Wayland Yutani. And Wayland Yutani bought Sevastopol. And, like, the whole thing's connected to Wayland Yutani. Like, the whole reason the station failed, the whole reason Ripley's on the station, the whole reason, like, everything. It was an experiment. Like, that's all it was. It was a way to cut Seegson out, and it was an experiment for them to, like, to get the Xenomorph.
And specifically because they knew the black box recorder was on the seat with Sevastopol.
Yep.
And that was the closest they could get to getting a Xenomorph, the information about them.
Yep.
Like, it might even tell, you know, it might be funny. Like, that game could explains, because I'm pretty sure by that game they'd get the information off the what's it called, off the black box recorder.
Yeah.
So that game also, like, ties into why Wayland Yutani knows where the where LV 426 is, and why they decide to even put a colony on there.
Yeah.
Because it is all because of the information they get off that black box.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
And it's crazy because you can tie him back to Aliens. You know, I know this has not too much to do with the RPG, but just how everything's interconnected. Like the reason why Carter Burke tells
Ripley
that her daughter passed peacefully, but we don't even know. But like fails to mention the outbreak, everything that
happened on Sevastopol, all that stuff. Like it's just like, oh yeah, no, Amanda passed away peacefully at an old age. Doesn't even mention anything about what happened on Sevastopol. Like you can fill in the blanks there that probably Wayland Yutani buried everything that happened.
Oh yeah.
Even though Amanda survives, like you can bury that. Which that's not a spoiler for me playing the game or anything that Amanda survives. Because that's the director's cut of Aliens, is that Amanda survived, that her daughter's name is Amanda, that she dies of old age at like the age of 60.
Well, and we don't even know if she actually survives, because it's like, I think something that they even said in the making of Isolation is that Carter Burke would say anything to get Ripley on that planet.
It's true. Yeah.
So it's not in them to lie.
Yeah.
It's definitely they could do it. But going on, this is something interesting because this is something you do that you turned me on to. So, much like a lot of Free League stuff, they want you to do like cards for initiative. Mm-hmm. But you're saying that just a rolling 10-sided die just makes things a little bit easier.
Yeah, adaptive die. So the thing when rolling virtually, I wasn't using Roll20 from my game or anything like that. I don't use Roll20 often just because I'm a bit of a Luddite when it comes to like using macros and stuff like that in systems. Like I use them in like if I'm playing an MMO, I don't play MMOs anymore because I don't have time for them. But like, and I use macros in my job at some point, but like I don't know, like it's just much easier for me to do everything theater of the mind and using dice and everything like that. And like since like I have the cards, but I don't know if the people that I'm running for have the cards.
Yeah.
Online. So instead of me having like cards and everybody say 1 through 10 of the initiative cards, who has the highest card, and then going from there and then shuffling and then dealing them back out for each turn. Instead, I'm just gonna have everybody roll 10-sided dice, because I mean that just. I could do 1 through 6, but I want there to be more probability, especially if I have more people playing.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like, because if it's me and then I have 4 to 5 people playing, that's 5 right there. But then I also have NPCs and enemies.
And there tends to be a lot of NPCs around because they're just basically fodder for.
Yeah, exactly. They're fodder for for the xenomorph to help urge the players to let them know that it's very dangerous. They need to probably run and not fight. But yeah, so I just use a 10-sided die, initiative die. And whoever rolls the highest gets to choose who goes first. And you can do it even more so to a point where you choose one person to roll a 10-sided die, or you choose one person to roll who has the highest like agility score.
Mm-hmm.
Have them roll, and then I'll roll. And then if I go first, then enemies go first. But if they roll higher, then they all go first, and then I'll go first, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, having everybody roll a 10-sided die feels a lot more fair, and then it can be tactically different as well, because it'd be interesting to have 2 players go, and then the xenomorph, and then everybody else goes, or what have you. Working Joes.
Fucking robots with just latex Halloween mask pulled over them, essentially.
Yeah. There's a meme that I need to share at some point where it's kind of like that. It reminded me of the Working Joes. It's like, what's more terrifying, this animatronic Elvis? It's this animatronic Elvis head without its face on it, or me wearing the face of the animatronic Elvis head. Kind of reminds me of Working Joes a little bit.
All right, so we talked about planet building and colony building section, so we actually jumped ahead with that. But the last thing I want to talk to you before we get into the modules is agendas. Super important. We touched on a little bit with players and their roles. We talked about how to steer, because you want the party to have. It's weird. Most games don't want you to have inter-party conflict.
Yeah.
Alien RPG almost lives and dies by it. But you don't want. Agendas are a nice way to guide party conflict without people taking it personal.
Yep.
Because it's an in-game mechanic. Everyone has agenda, and usually your agenda, unless you are like a traitor, isn't to screw everyone else over. In fact, a lot of agendas are keep people alive. Sometimes an agenda can be simple as I want to make more money, or I'm addicted to something and I need to get my fix.
Yeah. So some of my personal ones that I like, that I enjoy quite a bit, is like the medic. You have some unusual but classified medical reports that the company is looking for. Find out why they are so important. That one's good. The company agent has a really good one. You're a nice guy, but the company is blackmailing you to do its dirty work. Get even.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or the death of your buddy for Colonial Marine. The death of your buddy has spooked you. Now you secretly fear combat and confrontation. You need to overcome your fear. And then
That's
some
really
of them
cool.
have
I like that.
Your longtime partner betrayed you and defected to a crime syndicate. Get even. You are greedy for power and never miss an opportunity to get ahead. The kid. You have no family left. Make sure you never end up alone again.
And agendas could be good, and they could just be, like I said. Oh, you wrote those yourself?
No, these are from the book.
Oh, are they?
You can make up your own. I highly recommend you making up your own. But if you don't feel like making up your own, guess what? The book provides them for you.
Did you make up your own? Well, I know we'll talk about later for Upon Her Altar.
Yes, I made up my own for Upon Her Altar because it fits
Excellent.
within the whole framework of the game. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and like more so than personal agenda, we talked about it a little bit as well, but it ties in directly to personal agenda. There's a thing with creating your character where they ask who's your buddy and who's your rival.
Rival, yeah.
And your buddy is a member of the party that you get along with, and your rival is somebody that you don't necessarily get along with. And it can be either or. It's fine, regardless. But it helps that, like you said, the inter-party conflict and that engagement. People that you're going to constantly look out for and people that you might not help. Some people that might be in danger, but everybody else is in danger. So you might, rethink helping them.
It's like if you had a choice between the two, you want to save your buddy over the guy you don't like. But sometimes your agenda actually could even steer you into trying to take care of someone that you don't want to take care of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like you're an actor and you're getting character notes on how to play your character, which I think is good because so many people have trouble just dropping in and making character their own. Like it is pretty tough. It's not easy. And just having this is what your goal is. It's so easy to play around that, and then you can do some really cool shit with it. Yeah.
And upon our altar, I have it if you're playing a character because I have a lot of they're all pre-written. They're all pre-generated characters. Yeah. But I have it that if you're playing, then you choose your own buddy and rival. But the characters that you're not playing, they have pre-generated buddies and rivals. Or you can use the pre-generated buddies and rivals that I've given on the sheet.
Well, that's cool.
It's just wholly up to you.
Yeah, and you just have that. It's just really good. I like it. Okay, so it's funny because there's another game called Legendary Encounters. It's a board game for Alien, a deck building game, and they also have agendas. And I'm wondering if Free League, when developing that game, referred to it because it's very, very similar.
Yeah.
But your agendas are definitely your agendas are definitely more fleshed out in this. The other one, they're just kind of cards, and they describe how you approach a situation. But I think it's super interesting. I think that's a mechanic I want to see in other games. Would it be cool if you could probably adapt that for other games too if you really wanted to?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. That could fit into. I know they have short-term and long-term ambitions in Vampire the Masquerade, but that's honestly something you could have fit in Vampire the Masquerade or any World of Darkness storytelling thing.
Call of Cthulhu would be great for that.
Definitely Call of Cthulhu. Kids on Bikes. I'm looking at the book right just because I'm looking at the book right now. Kids on Bikes, that would work. I know they do it in Tales from the Loop because they have who you're fond of. And,
and your personal goal.
Your personal goal, yeah. Scion. I just grabbed the book because Scion fits.
I still have to play that system.
I wouldn't mind playing with you. I've ran it twice.
So you want to be a player, yeah?
I'd rather be a player, yeah.
That'll be definitely, we'll put that on the docket for Saturday night one shots. I keep adding stuff to it and they keep being like, Nick, come on, we need to we have so much already.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff. I've already brought up some ideas as well. And they're like, run Alien. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll run Alien. I was like, but I also wouldn't mind running this and this and this.
Okay, so real quick, just to get to take a quick segue, Ian has been telling me for the last 3 to 4 months that we're gonna play Solemn Veil, and I know he's busy, but I think he might forget it sometimes. But I'm gonna
he's busy.
I'm gonna keep reminding him because eventually I'm gonna get that fucking game out of him.
We just got to do it on Saturday night one shots.
There you go.
Yeah.
You gotta do it for
I need to hold upon her altar hostage
for Solemn
Veil.
Yeah, since we're gonna talk about Upon Her Altar today, we'll just hold it on long enough so everyone forgets.
Yeah.
Most of it, and then you can run it.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go, the secret plan. All right, now to get to the real meat and cusp of our episode, I think what we'll do is we'll run through the pre-made adventures that are out before we go into Upon Her Altar, because I feel like we're going to spend a really good chunk on there, and if that's what I want to spend a really good chunk on.
Okay.
So...
Put me in the spotlight.
Okay, that's what I want here. This is what you're here. You are my guest of honor. All right, Wes, I am not yours. So it'll be your time to geek out, to tell me everything, and I can geek out with you. So you just bought Alien the RPG. You're like, I want it running for my friends. Mm-hmm. You might have got the complete bundle where you get Chariot of the Gods, or maybe you buy it later on. You get the starter set. You get Destroy the Worlds.
Yep.
So let's kind of go step by step. Let's start with Hope's Last Day because this is the shortest.
Yes.
Do you like it? There's stuff about it you don't? Why should you run it? And what's in like what situation should you run it in?
I like Hope's Last Day. I like Hope's Last Day because it is essentially a primer for Chariot of the Gods.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I mean, they're all kind of connected, but I like it because it's short, it's quick, it's to the point. It has pre-generated characters that you can just hand out. It comes with a book. I mean, you don't have to buy anything extra. You just buy the book, and then it's there. You've got it. It is detailed, but not too detailed. It's not overbearingly detailed. But your locations, you're given like a full map of the whole area. It's great. All the NPCs are written out. It tells you exactly how to kick off the action. It tells you exactly like what to do. It's step by step. And its whole intent and purpose is you've bought the game, you have friends that are wanting to run the game or wanting to play the game. You're wanting to run the game. Here's how you run the game. Just go through this.
Yeah, the guys from the Effect podcast actually wrote Hope's Last Day, and it's good. I really like it because I didn't even realize it was a precursor to the Chariot of the Gods. I know it's it's cool because if you like aliens, which I feel like a lot of people do, probably is their favorite. Oh, mine's Alien, but
mine's Alien, but yeah.
But people that like aliens will really like Hope's Last Day because it is the last. It's literally the last week before Ripley gets there, or it's the last bit of the colony. You're at the end of the fall of Hadley's Hope.
It is the prologue to Aliens.
Yeah, because so spoiler. Okay, spoiler for all these adventures going forward. I'll put that in the chat because we're going to go in depth because this is a GM show and you need to know how to run this game.
Yep.
For all adventures and modules going forth. So Hope's Last Day ends with the successful survivor sending the transmission that will be picked up by the Colonial Marines and Weyland-Yutani, which will prompt Carter Burke to recruit the Colonial Marines and Ripley to get onto Hadley's Hope. Yep. It's great because all the crazy shit has already happened. Most of the colonists are already kidnapped or are in the means of being kidnapped, and you play. It's considered a one-act game because you're already in the third act. Something that they'll talk about within all the adventures is that you have 3 acts. Act 1 is your setup. Act 2 is like you're tightening the noose, and then Act 3 is your grand finale. Yep. So you just get thrown into the shit right away. You're escape the colony, and you're faced with a bunch of xenomorphs. Classic. You're going room to room. You have things crawling around the vents, and you're trying to get to this last ship.
Yep.
So I agree with you, Dad. Definitely, it's very easy to pick up and play. Is there any like particular highlights from that adventure that you enjoy?
The characters. I like the characters that are written out really well. I like the choices that they made for them too. Specifically Hirsch, the ex-Marine who's the cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
I really dig the just like the build out of that character. The Holroyd.
Yep, the android.
The roughneck android who knows exactly about the alien ship, why Miranda's there, everything. Who is the traitor essentially? Who?
Is Holroyd? Is Holroyd the?
Not Holroyd's not the traitor. No.
Oh, Miranda's
Holroyd
the traitor.
Yeah, Miranda's the traitor. Holroyd has to save. Is tried to save.
Yeah, Holroyd's the good
function.
android. He's to save everyone.
Yeah.
And you play him as an android, which is really, or synthetic, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know who he is at the start. Yeah, Miranda's great because she's not like your typical, Weyland-Yutani representative. She's a scientist.
Yep.
And that might throw people off for a bit, which is cool. But yeah, Miranda wants to. She wants to get the ship and take samples of either the face hugger, I believe it is either the face huggers or face.
The face huggers that you see in the lab and everything like that. That's the whole Miranda's purpose. is studying that part of the xenomorph biology.
Yeah, it's to get that out.
Yep.
If you want a little bit of extra background for this adventure, now it's not perfect recreation, but you can read the novel Alien. Let me see what it is called. It came out in 2016. It is it Out of the Shadows? It's the sequel to Out of the Shadows. I'm sorry if I don't see this, I'm gonna be like,
no,
what the hell?
I need to read these books. I have not, or listen to them audiobook wise. I have not yet.
Yeah, actually, let me check my audiobooks. I feel like I'll get them faster because I don't believe Out of the Shadows is there's like three canon, like there's a canonical trilogy that it was written, and like two of them are original stories, but one is specifically about Hadley's Hope. It is Rivers of Pain.
Rivers of Pain.
And
okay.
it is trying to download it. I did not want it to download it. Okay.
Okay, because Out of Shadows, and then it's Sea of Sorrows, and then River of Pain.
Yeah. So River of Pain I think it's because Archon, which is the name of the planet. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's what it means, I guess, in legend. And it's really cool. It's about the Colonial Marines, and it's funny because even though the characters that they have in the book don't exist in the module, the adventure is pretty much the same. They're going for the ship that has been set aside by the scientists, specifically when they need to get specimens off the planet and when they need to jump ship when bad stuff starts to happen.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's a good book to read. It gives a little bit of background information on what to expect. A lot of the stuff that they mention in the book about Hadley's Hope is something that's recreated in Hope's Last Day. One of my favorite parts in Hope's Last Day is the casino, the like little hidden casino between some of the members that's in there, and that's in the book. They talk about that too. It's like a place that they all go to hang out and like spend their money away, and it's supposed to be illegal.
I like there's a little block here. So yeah, you're talking about Tannen's Casino. There's a little block here that is hidden xenomorphs. And it is just for you, the game mother, to know. It's just to give you a little bit of idea that they're like very passive and they're hidden, but if like the players start getting a little bit too rambunctious with their investigation and stuff like that,
you
can always pop
too much.
Yeah, if they poke around too much or anything like that, you can pop one of those bad boys out and then just like kind of herd the players if need be, which I am all full on for soft railroading, not hardcore railroading, because if you're playing like a sandbox game, no railroading, just let them do whatever the hell they want. But if you're playing like a story or whatever,
especially a cinematic scenario,
it's like bumper bowling.
I feel like people kind of know what they're getting into. They're getting into something that's supposed to be a one shot, like a movie. Something which I really like about the way they lay out their adventures, and it's kind of the same in Hope's Last Day, which is kind of the same going forward. So they give you how every location looks, and like the enemies that'll be inside if there is any enemies, and then they have this nice little list towards the very end, which is called events. Yes. Now these events, they're usually broken up by act. And you can use them, and some of them are optional, and some of them are like, this is required to move along the story, and there's just shit that is going to happen. Because, unless the players stop it.
Yes.
And specifically it says, to spice things up and increase the tension even more, below you'll find events that you can spring on players during the scenario. These events don't all need to occur, and they don't need to occur in the order listed. Instead, consider the events an arsenal or drama for you to use as you see fit. So not only do they give you like this cool list of events, but you can use them in any way. So not every game is going to be the same. There's going to be slight variations of it, or stuff that'll didn't happen before.
Yep. My personal favorite is The Birth.
I was just about to. Do you want to read that?
Yeah. So if the PCs have rescued Dr. Comiskey from the med lab or Maria Hemming from Tannen's Casino, the chestbursters inside them will be born sooner or later. This is probably the first time the PCs witness such an event, triggering an immediate panic roll. So, like, if you ever have some downtime, if they do the good thing, the Good Samaritan thing, and they save one of those two characters, and they're moving around, they have a little bit of downtime, where they're like, okay, we gotta get to the ship. All right, we know exactly it's our last push and everything like that. Let's go ahead and rest up a little bit, and then just have them do the, I don't feel so good. Oh, Yeah.
That's a gift right there. That's an emote for later. And it's cool because now all of a sudden you have a new enemy, because if that Church Purser gets away, that's growing to a full-size Xenomorph in little to no time.
Yep.
Specifically what I like, and as well, one of my favorites out of the 3 events they listed here, Hunted. At no point should the PCs feel safe, something you were just talking about. If they stay for too long in one place or start to get complacent, one or more active drones, so active means on the hunt, or scouts arrive from the nearby hive and start to stalk them. The only way to survive Hope's last day is to use the shuttle to escape.
Yep.
So it's almost now
you can't hide.
You can't hide. No. Have you played Left 4 Dead?
Yes.
So Left 4 Dead uses this awesome AI called the Director on both of their games, and one of the primary things the Director will do, if you stay and search in the same area for too long, it'll spawn a horde in order to get you moving, because it wants you to you're supposed to try to race through the level a steady pace, which I really like. Kind of same thing as well. Also, Hunted's really good if someone decides to try and leave the party.
Yes.
And go off their own. You show them why that's a bad idea.
Immediately, and they might get away, or they probably won't. You know.
Either way, they rolled that dice, and so did you.
That dice. Yeah.
So, for Hope's Last Day, it's definitely just to kind of go over everything. You don't get the fullness out of a full cinematic scenario, but if you're looking to play something for like 1 or 2 hours, it's the perfect scenario for that. It's a get in, get out, very complacent, very reminiscent of just Alien 2 or Aliens and Alien, just like the more exciting parts. And by the end of it, you'll probably have some cool stories about how some characters died and how some characters survived. When I ran this for I don't know if you've ever run this scenario, Wes. When I ran it for my friends, actually, who had never played the Free League system, it was interesting because we had, someone was playing the android, we had someone playing Miranda, and then someone was playing the other doctor, the medic.
Oh yeah, Sunny.
Yes.
Sig? Yeah.
So it was really cool because the person playing Miranda we got to the end. Oh, we had someone playing what was his name? The ex
Hirsch,
which is awesome because his signature item is a cross, and our player Alex was actually he was every time he was like, all right, I'm gonna pray, try to get my stress level down. He was very much playing his character. Our Miranda, at the very end when they got to the shuttle, she held everyone up at gunpoint because she had gotten one of the weapons, and she was basically like, I'm leaving on this ship alone. And she opened the ship and immediately get jumped by a face hugger, and I rolled on the table and I got the final embrace.
Ooh.
So it's just like she took someone hostage and then immediately was like,
that's so good though. It's so cinematic. It's so good.
It was just so ironic, and the player playing Miranda was actually pretty happy. She was like, I went out the way I felt like the character should have. And I think Hirsch ended up taken away by the Xenomorph. So Sunny's running onto the ship and starting up and getting away with this with what's her name, Miranda, face hugged on the ship with her. She goes up, she takes off, and some of the samples still in there. She takes off hoping that she's going to use it to kind of waylay with parlay with Weyland Yutani, and the last thing she sees as she looks out is Hirsch just getting grabbed away, and the android's just been burst apart by the Xenomorphs.
I like Hope's Last Day. You know what it reminds me of? Because I've had this idea for a while of because everybody's always like, okay, what's the next Alien movie gonna be?
Yeah.
And I think that we've gotten to the point where I've gotten to the point where I'm kind of tired of sequels and remakes with movies. I like the idea of the adrenaline to a franchise, or the rebooting of a franchise being done through television. Let's see, Disney owns
Fox, so they own Alien.
Fox, so they own Alien. So they also own Hulu. That means that they work or own Hulu. Yeah. So do a Hulu series, an Alien series with Hulu, and Hope's Last Day would be a perfect first episode. And people are like, but Wes, it seems like it's a season finale because you said it's a third act. it's a perfect setup episode for what you would lead into Aliens being your like
TV show.
Your TV show. So it's your first episode. You're like in this episode, and it's like a 90-minute episode too, because you're doing a streaming service. You're doing whatever the fuck you want. You're a fucking cowboy out here, okay? There's no rules in the Wild West when you're doing a streaming service. So it's like a 90-minute pilot. You get connected to each of these characters. You get attached to them and everything like that. You see them being like getting like below one, and you're like, you start seeing like clear lines of like, okay, yeah, no, clearly like this person's the hero, this person's the angel. Like we're getting attached to these actors. You even get like a couple big name actors, like TV actors, to play them, and like you do all the promotional marketing and everything like that. Where it's like, yeah, no, this is like our core cast and everything like that. And at the very end, you do the epilogue, which is the reading off this is the final report from Hadley's Hope. Let's say Hirsch reporting. The colony has been overrun by monsters. Of the 158 souls residing there, only I have survived. The rest, well, I dread to think what happened to the rest. I can only hope they were given the mercy of a quick death, but I doubt it. If you receive this message, do not attempt a rescue. Sorry, far away. Inform the Colonial Marines as soon as you can. Only they can handle those monsters. This is Hirsch signing off. So you get that point, and then the last thing you see in that episode is like Hirsch like sitting down, and then you see the bundle of tubes or whatever slowly unfurls itself on the shuttle. Or you see just a face hugger skitter across the floor. And then it goes to credits.
It's chilling.
And then the next episode, so you're like, what the fuck? What is this TV show about? They just killed off everybody in the first episode. What the hell? No, bait and switch. Second episode, you're introduced to your main cast of characters.
There you go.
And it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to remake Aliens, but it can be something similar to that. And this Hope's Last Day can be that for your gaming group. If you're like, I want to do a campaign, but I want to set the mood, I want to set how deadly this system is, have them play Hope's Last Day first, and then you can go into having them make their main characters.
Just straight up murder them.
Yes. Yeah.
It's funny because I was actually, as you were talking about that, I was like, okay, what's the future of Alien? So Ridley Scott's doing right now, he's doing Raised by Wolves, which some people think is going to be a secret Alien spinoff because that's what he did with Covenant. I don't think it is too, but it looks good. You should check out the trailer. It actually just dropped, I believe, yesterday. But apparently franchise producer Walter Hill just sent, back in June, sent Sigourney Weaver a 50-page script treatment for a fifth movie centered around Ellen Ripley. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of was hoping we would give her a rest because I felt like she's been through enough. Especially with Resurrection and 3.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that Ridley Scott would finish. Well, it was supposed to be like Alien Awakening or Alien Advent.
Advent, yeah.
Yeah.
You had Prometheus, Covenant, and Advent.
Yeah, I was hoping we never got that third movie. And I'm hoping we do eventually because I think it would be a shame not to finish that trilogy off. Because I feel like we're like...
It's the David trilogy.
Yeah, and I feel like we're one of the... like. Maybe not a small one, but I feel like that those films are actually really good.
I really like them. I like Prometheus and Covenant a lot. I think they're the perfect adaptation or the update for modern audiences. Mm-hmm. People were crying that it wasn't like the first movie, and I'm like, well, the second movie wasn't like the first movie. The third movie wasn't like the first or second movie.
And Resurrection definitely wasn't like any of the movies.
Like any of the movies. None of these movies, like, people are like, it doesn't feel like Alien. Well, what? Okay, yeah, it doesn't feel like the first movie, but none of these other movies that I hear people like love and rave about, or some hate them, but like
I definitely feel like every movie has is really good if you watch the right version. I'll say that because I definitely like the director's cut of Aliens more than the OG Aliens, but also I don't always have almost like 3.5 hours to spend watching Aliens.
Agreed.
I think Alien 3 Assembly Cut is great. So think of like all these scenarios as possible new movies. And what I love what Freely did is, and we'll get into it, is that like Hope's Last Day, you say, leads to Chariot of the Gods. Chariot of the Gods leads directly in, like, not directly in, but Destroyer of the Worlds reference stuff from Chariot of the Gods. Like, so the stuff that those characters did actually have an effect.
It's a connected universe.
Yeah, which I really like because you can even mess about with that.
Which I know we're supposed, like, we're supposed to be getting our pre-orders soon, right? They're supposed
yes.
to be.
Well, we got our PDFs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm waiting for the physical book. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, I have the PDFs, but I kind of want to wait until I get the physical book to actually read it. I just read easier when I have the physical book. I'm a perfect baby today. Sorry.
Ooh,
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm kind of like, and I guess I could dig into it a little bit with Destroyer of Worlds, but I'm kind of hoping there's like a, if this happened, then this happens. If this happened in Chariot of the Gods, then this happens.
I'll tell you now because I've read Destroyer of the Worlds. There's nothing like that, like specifically, but they do say like this is the strain from Chariot of the Gods. This is stuff you find that you've had Chariot of the Gods. So honestly, I really like the approach you just said. I wish that might be something at homebrew, like if this happened, because if they successfully blew up the station and not a single bit of the strain got off the station, then why would it appear in Chariot of the Gods or Destroyer of Worlds? Why would the strain? Why would it reappear? Maybe a report of it would appear, but technically, if they did their mission, why would it be there? And then, or you could be like specifically, you can name the PC that brought it back from Chariot of the Gods, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have like this cool continuity thing.
Then it's tied into it,
Before we get too into it, let's start with Chariot of the Host of Chariot's Last Day.
Chariot's Last Day.
Destroyer Chariot's Last Day of Worlds Gods. Chariot of the Gods. Why should you run it? I fucking love this adventure. It's what is this name? Drew Gaska, I believe.
It's written by Drew E.C. Gaska.
Yep.
Very talented. Yeah. Very talented writer.
Let me pull up some of his other work because actually he is he's done a lot of like novelization books for other franchises. He's a franchise consultant, so he's actually from Fox, I believe, and not with like he's not a Free League employee. He's with Fox.
Yes.
Which I think is awesome. And he's been a consultant on games such as GTA, Red Dead Redemption, Midnight Club. I'm looking through here, some Blam, the comics book series, anthology, Conspiracy of the Planet of the Apes, which I heard was a pretty good novel.
Yeah.
So he knows his stuff. He knows he's done a lot of horror.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he was the franchise consultant for this project. I believe we actually learned that from Tomas when we did the interview with him on Alien Day, that they were like he was specifically brought on to be like, all right, this is something that would be okay for the franchise. Like, this is something that makes sense. This is not. So which is why I think the system's actually really, like, you had someone that knew the canon inside and out in the world and was like, here's where we give you leeway on, here's where we have to like bring you back a bit. So Chariot of the Gods, a really like you could boil it down to an Alien type rehash, but it's different than that, right? Like,
yes.
So what's kind of your experiences running Chariot of the Gods? Because it's the first adventure, it's kind of the first big one that with 3 acts that we'll play.
So it's like, some people said it's a rehash of Alien. I mean, you're playing freighters that are running the gauntlet. It's called the Gauntlet, between Anchor Point Station and the Frontier, and there's a bit of a time limit on it because you're the cargo you're hauling. It's not like Alien where you're just hauling, like they're just hauling whatever, and then they stop because they get like a transmission. Yeah, like there's a bit of a time limit because the cargo that they're hauling is decaying gas. It needs to be taken care of, and they need to get it to this colony quickly because they hold on to it for too long, it can get bad. Yeah, it like needs to. Well, specifically, it's like bad now and it's got to mature into. Yes. Some valuable stuff. Yeah. The reason why I think you should run it, is not for the story itself. The story is pretty cut and dry. That's not me talking shit about the story. The story is great. The characters are great. It's great. The whole thing is great. The reason you should run it is because it ties in Prometheus Covenant canon with main canon. The enemy types that you have in it are neomorphs.
Yep.
And beluga heads and stuff like that. Like, you've got bloodbursters, you've got neomorphs. It's new enemy types. It's fresh. It's like I was saying earlier with Hope's Last Day. It's the rest of your season for your Alien TV show.
Mm-hmm.
It's you like looking at like the new people. And like being like, this is for fans of Alien of old, and this is for new fans of Alien. So if you're new fans of Alien, you're gonna get something out of this too. The enemy types are fucking amazing. They're deadly as hell, and they're almost Lovecraftian in nature.
Just it's like an infection, essentially.
Yes. Yeah. It's it is a perfect marriage between an alien story, like a sci-fi horror alien story, and a zombie infection story.
Yeah, and it gets out of control so quickly.
So quick. As soon as it starts, as soon as you decide to kick it off, it fucking goes.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop, and it's amazing.
So just to give everyone just a quick synopsis, it starts off, you end out of hypersleep, and you're supposed to be at it's like Sutter's World. I believe that's what it's called. You're supposed to be out to deliver your cargo. You've been taken, kind of very similar to Alien, where you've been taken off course because you've detected something. You end up almost running into the ship, and the ship ends up being this like huge cargo opportunity. It's a hull of this like long lost abandoned ship, and then you have your company agent who pretty much like has kind of the situation, who knows why you have to be there, and he's like, oh, what I think is really cool is the hook to get people on is not only the enticement of money and like greed, but you basically tell them that you have to go on because it's company policy.
Yep. You pull rank on them,
and you have to forfeit your share if you don't want to go, which I think is amazing.
Yeah. So you don't get shit, even though you're a company employee. You don't get any of your salary or anything if you don't go. So that's your buy-in. Is you're fucking with your livelihood. Yeah,
and you need to. And it's really cool because none of the characters are like, except for I need to. You know what? I'm gonna find it right now, just because I think it's gonna be useful if you have to play this.
I've got it pulled up as well.
A nice, really easy run, really simple, like
cut and dry.
44 pages, and most of it's just like setup. Beautiful art still inside. Mm-hmm. I know we talked about this before, but the art in this game is just amazing. I specifically want to find the beluga head.
Yeah, the picture, the diagram, the maps of
the abomination. There we go.
The maps of the Cronus, because you're on the ship, the Cronus. Well, part of it. The main ship is the Montero.
Yep.
But the ship that you find is the Cronus, which looks oddly like the ship, the Prometheus.
Yeah, so it's funny because the Montero is supposed to be the Nostromo. It's the same class ship of it, just without the huge hull. And the what's it called? The Cronus does look like the Prometheus ship, which is kind of funny because it's like an alternate history, because like, you know, we don't know how that. I would need someone to verify, but is the planet that they get the strain from the same planet that's in Covenant, where the black goo is from?
Yes, it is.
Really? Okay, yes. That's awesome. That is fucking amazing.
Because this takes place after the Prometheus and Covenant timeline.
Yep. Well, because like Wayland has officially been Weyland-Yutani. Because I think it's still Wayland in the Covenant Prometheus. Or...
it's not Weyland-Yutani and Covenant and Prometheus yet.
You have the book starts out really simple. I honestly think this is a great buy. You get your characters, you get your main cast, your personal agenda, tells you the situation. You have a secret android in there, which can be anyone.
Yep.
You have notes about, which I really like. You get the situation. You get a little prompt to read in the beginning, what's the story, mother, and then you get exactly what the situation is, explaining what happened and everything you need to know before going forth. A lot of books, when you open up an adventure, they kind of like feed it to you as if you were a player, only telling you when you get to that part. But you don't want to do that. You want to know the whole thing, so you can start just, you know, growing those seeds. Tells you what happened to the Cronus. Go into it. You get all your characters: Miller, Davis, Rye, Cham. Cham being the only like really good aligned character. They all kind of are selfish.
Yeah.
But whatever.
They're all kind of shitty.
Yeah, they're all. No, I don't even say shit. They're just normal people. They have normal desires. They want their. And no one knows it's going to be a death march.
Yeah.
I actually think it's pretty cool because the few times I've played this, the first time I played this with my IRL group, and they fucking loved it. They thought it was the best game I ever ran, and we had everyone playing everything. And then the second time I run it was pretty good as well. But it was interesting to see how like the company agent, the person playing it, played him super nice, and like did not give up the ghost that he was like trying to fuck with him. Like, he was like, oh, regrettably, this is just what I have to do, but like I have to do it. And then you get a nice thing of non-play NPCs that once you interact with them, you can easily just drop people into them once you start the killing.
Yeah. If one of your first players died, then you can just drop them into the NPCs, and then just have them take over from there. I particularly like how it ends. I like the whole inclusion of the Marauders specifically. I think that's a cool neat little addition. It helps it feel fresh and new, even though it is technically a rehash of the first. It's the first. It's Prometheus and Alien put together.
Yeah, with a little bit of resurrection, because the Marauder ship, we actually got confirmation from Tomas, is the same ship type as the Betty from Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, the Sotillo. Yeah, the USCSS Sotillo.
Yes.
Which is it's a Mantis class ship. Yeah.
Which I thought is awesome. It's so cool that he like knew that like he just dropped those little Easter eggs here and there, and we didn't even realize that. But something I also say, like just as a tip, you don't even have to run the Marauder section. The first time I played this, we were like 6-7 hours, and we were like, I was like, you know what? We're close to the end. I'm not even run the Marauder section because it would just bog out the end now.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing is like, there's so many things in place for it that like, if the players do like just breeze on through like the first 2 acts, and it ain't nothing, kid, and you're sitting there at hour 3 or hour 4, and you're like, well, shit. Then throw in the Marauder section, and it'll help. Like that, it's another one of those things where it's like, okay, they're breathing now. Like they have some breathing room, and it's like, okay, now bear down on them real quick.
Yeah, because there's essentially there's essentially a few ways you can get off the ship. You can either fix the Cronus and let it fly, which is really tough to do because like you have to repair 4 different engines, and most of my players just said fuck that. There's the escape pod. That only fits, I think it's 3 people or 4 people. So
4 people.
When you have an NPC list of like a total of like 10 characters on this ship, either you start dropping or you start leaving people. Then you have the Marauders. So that you can take their ship and go, or get on their ship and go, but they might not be really nice about that. In terms of just like flow, Act 1's very much exploration. You're getting onto the Kronos. The crew hasn't woke up yet. I think Act 1 ends when the crew wakes up and the first guy gets bloodbursted, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then Act 2, you get them into the crew. Everything's turning on. The dormant neomorphs are starting to wake up now, and what was once this kind of innocent, like this like spooky exploration is turning into this hell. And that's when we start getting into like the infection types. If they've been breathing in the black air, if they take the inoculation, which has a high chance of like turning you into one of these things. And then we get into Act 3, which is just a total like we need to get off it. And then you can even destroy, if you want to self-destruct the ship, you can. If you want to fix the ship, you can. It's up to you. It's really cool on how it's made because it's such a closed, like, it's only what, like a 2-level map? Yeah, there's only like 2 levels on it.
For both ships, there's only 2 levels.
And yet again, you break it down. You have the agendas that guide people. You have the maps that have specifically what enemies are in there. They show you the patrol routes of everything. I really like that it has the shafts on there because that's how the aliens, like, you know how the aliens move from shaft to shaft. And specifically, the events is a lot more meatier. So Hope's Last Day had what, 3-4 events?
Yeah.
Here you have about 8 events. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. About like 7 to 8 events for each act. Some of them entirely like, optional. But there are some that are mandatory, which is really nice that they put you on there. I love the ping one in the beginning because if you don't want to run the Marauders, you just don't ever run that event.
Yep.
It's just like the foreshadowing for them. I like the fact you can almost run into the ship if the team, if you're like, okay, you got to keep them on the Kronos, and they're like, well, we're gonna head back to the Montero. There's literally an event you can run where the Montero just gets just fucked.
Mm-hmm.
So now they have to little, because it's like Act 1 is Pandora's Box, Act 2 the Long Night, and then Act 3 Divided We Fall, which I love it. It's just amazing. What would be your favorite event out of all these?
Probably looking at it, it's probably in Ghost Ship is good, but I think the Headless Man is really good.
Oh yeah, when they just come out the body, the suit, the guy that
the PCs come across the slumped over headless body of a man in a spacesuit. There's splatter of blood and brain matter on the wall behind him, and a Model 37A2 shotgun lies next to him. A casual examination shows that something isn't quite right about him. His arms seem a little too long and have stretched his compression suit until it's torn at the forearms. So it's a nice little description to yeah, this is fucked up. Because it'd be one thing to see somebody that is like decided to go the Cobain way out, but instead they're like, if you have like the medic of the group or scientist of the group kind of investigate something, they're like, yeah, no, this isn't right though. This guy has like Michael Phelps arms. This guy has they're way too long, and like so that's a little bit of unease, and so you can up the stress level a little bit automatically because of that. Yeah,
something I liked. I specifically like my favorite event with one of my favorite events is I Got Movement, which is right after that, because there's nothing like, especially if you're playing this live, and you could probably do it on Roll20, there's nothing like playing the audio of the motion tracker going off and then watching people just fucking go nuts.
I remember the first time I interacted with you on the Gehenna Gaming Discord is when you dropped the audio that you produced for it, and I was like, I'm grabbing that.
Yeah, so if everyone checks out my Twitter at NoblemanNick, I actually have audio logs and Mother's voice, all recorded by my friends. You know, we edited and heavily produced to basically give you audio files that are free to use that you can use for Chariot of the Gods. So that's something we can talk about, remixing this adventure a little bit. This adventure as is great. It's fun. You go through, you got all the elements of Alien. If you want something that's very much going to be encompass of what you want to get out of a cinematic scenario, get Chariot of the Gods. Your crew have a fun time. You can run it multiple times, and there's just something about it. You have exploration, you have danger, you have fighting, you have all the core elements that you would want and need. I don't know if I'm trying to think of like just obvious cons that you might need to be ready for. Obviously, like, there's only a certain amount of NPCs, but I think the game gives you a great amount of NPCs as well. It's very easy to get yourselves all killed in the very first act by breathing in the stuff, or if you all take the inoculation. Which can suck, because then it kind of stinks that you all take the inoculation and then your original cast of characters is all dead, and now
they have to play NPCs that they find later.
Because because there is like a check for it. To see if you can take the vaccine successfully. Sure, almost like playing just like Russian roulette with yourself on that point. But that's the only thing I can say that you might want to think about and adjust while running this game. I do think if you're trying to run this in one day, I wouldn't run the I said. I just think it kind of bogs stuff down if you have a party that's kind of careful. And knowing it's a horror game, most people try to be careful. Like, if you do have a gung-ho people, then go ahead and put it in.
They do have great stuff in place. Like, another one of my events that I like, not my events, but the events that I like, is No Money. During the countdown. Yeah. The PCs might want to try to save the Trillium/Helium-3 shipment before the Montero explodes. So you allow them to do that, and they have a shuttle, the Daisy, that they can try to load up and move it over to the Cronus. But you have to count it down. You have to keep the countdown solid, or it'll explode. And the people that are trying to which could be good. It's like you've got half of your team that are waiting on the Cronus for the other half of the team to come back with the Daisy with the ship, because they're like, we're not leaving. That's free money that we're just exploding. We need to bring this back. This is our money. And and like you're like sitting there waiting. Half of your cast is just like waiting there for them, and then like you see the daisy coming out, and it's like you didn't get away far enough from the daisy, so the daisy gets crippled, and they have to abandon the daisy in subspace or in space, and so they have to all their shit. So they have to get in compression suits, and then just float on over.
And I love it you don't like if the Montero is going to explode, which I believe Mother just does if like
just does it automatically. Yeah.
It's either Mother that does it or the android, which we'll talk about in a second. That's like one of my favorite parts of this.
Yeah.
They have to program. They have to set a flight course from the Montero. So they have to go back to Montero, which is about to explode, set a flight course for it, and then get away.
Yep.
Because it's like it's going to explode and it's going to take the Kronos with it.
Yep.
Which I think is like fucking cool. Because I've had players die in that explosion, like mid like trying to get out, and it's like some characters survive the jump and some don't. And it's just like it's just an intense moment. Like I had two people. I think I had like Cham and Rye because they were the Roughnecks, or Davis and Rye, and they both jumped. Rye survives, turns around and looks for Davis, and Davis is just blown apart. Like did not survive the spacewalk, and I was just like it was just a cool ass moment. The other thing, the synthetic. You do have a secret synthetic in there. So you're two kind of traders. It's what the company rep.
Company rep,
company rep, and then who's actually more of a trader because
he's working with the interests of the company.
Yeah, and then you have the android, who doesn't necessarily like he or she actually has a they actually have a reason to keep the crew alive because their whole thing is they work for Bionational, which is under Seegson, so they are the rival company for Weyland-Yutani. And they have gotten secret orders about the Kronos, and they don't want the Kronos
to get lost.
Because they don't want Weyland-Yutani to get it.
To get it, yeah. Because if Weyland-Yutani gets it, then they leave them behind in the dust for
they get
biochemical warfare.
They get rich. So specifically, what it tells them, like the agenda, it doesn't even tell them to get samples. It's just like keep this out of Weyland-Yutani's hand. So it's really cool because your person that's your android playing the android is going to want to sabotage the Kronos. They're going to be the person that's like, we need to destroy this ship for the greater good.
Yes.
Which is probably going to fall in line with a lot of your other players and how they feel. And I'll tell you a great moment. I actually outlined it on my Twitter when I first finished it, and it was one of the best RP moments we had. The character revealed he was an android, synthetic. Killed the company agent who had like had holding everyone up gunpoint, and everyone was like Lottie was good to go. Only the synthetic and Miller got off, and Miller had been inoculated. So Miller survived the test, but had like samples of the Draconis strain in him. So the last scene was Miller getting put to sleep, and everything was like good. And then the player playing the synthetic, he goes, I turn to the screen and I contact Bionational. I tell them that the job's been done, I've destroyed the Kronos, and I'm bringing a sample back with me in a live host.
Damn.
And that was where the credits rolled. And like you said, your pilot episode, boom, that sets up the an entire plot. Yeah. And it was just amazing. We had like a plot, like just a story like that. It just ended so perfectly. Like the game, I'm sorry for just talking a shit ton about it, but I was so impressed with this adventure, even though it is cut and dry, because it feels like a movie and it ends like a movie.
Yeah, definitely, completely agreed. Yeah, I
feel like I apologize, Wes. I feel like I went crazy on there.
No. It's a really good system, and it's not really good. It was a really good system, but it's a really good like scenario. Like it's really well written. It's 40 pages of stuff. It's a thick boy. It's a dense boy. Oh, also it has its own little set of. Doesn't it have its own little set of? No. It's just it just has an explanation of the talents that are given for the preacher.
Yeah, just for the people, which I think is kind of cool.
Which is cool because like you essentially don't even need the core book.
Yeah, it's kind of they are making a quick start. That's the new thing on the starter set.
Starter set, yeah.
Yeah, which I think actually includes Chariot of the Gods. I think that's cool as shit.
Yep.
And the agendas are cool too. Like if I don't know if you took a look at the agendas. It's like Miller just wants money. Your captain wants money. Davis just wants stims. Obviously, Wilson wants to just succeed the mission. Ooh, have you seen Rye's agenda?
No, I have not.
You should. Would you do me the honor of reading it?
Okay, Rye's agenda here. Okay, 1 second. Let me get there. Pen.
Because I think this is one of the most interesting agendas in this game.
It's the Cronus crew.
Yep, it should be the third agenda. Third set.
Third set of agendas. Okay, here. Okay. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Where you at, kids? Where'd they go? Oh, sorry, my PDF is just jumping.
You're fine.
That's what's happening. What page is it?
It is on page 42.
42. Okay, so that's the problem. See, that's the problem, Nick.
It's always the problem.
Is that I was on page
4.
That was at the beginning. Yeah.
That
was exactly what it was. Agendas and story points. Here we go. Boom. Well, stop jumping. Oh my god. Adobe Acrobat. Don't.
See, this is why I use Foxit. Like, I have Adobe Acrobat. I just Foxit Reader's always been good for me. It's a free PDF reader. You should get it. That's a plug. Foxit, if you wanna fucking support the stream, you should go ahead and do it.
Okay, here we go. Boom. Let me go ahead and move it over to this screen. So don't scream. Okay. Page 42, you say?
Yes.
I call you a liar.
What's at the top? Okay, is it page 42 in the book?
Yeah.
Or on the PDF? It's not.
34. 30. Why am I on page 34? Okay, 42. Okay, here we go. Wait. Okay, no, page 42 in the book. I've got it. It might be different in the quick starter. Oh, that's why it's different in the quick starter.
Oh, damn. It's not. You don't.
Damn. Yeah, it's so I've got the starter set.
Oh, so Chariot of the Gods is just okay. So it's not like they just give you a PDF of Chariot of the Gods.
Yeah, they have a fully different thing because they have handouts for that. I'm a big old dumb dummy. Look at me. Yeah, they got the
the
sheets.
You're just a himbo. It's all right.
I'm just a big old himbo. Okay, here it is. Okay, so you got Miller. Okay, Miller, Davis,
Rye, like rye bread.
Rye, roughneck. Boom. Don't.
I swear to God, I swear, if your agenda's different from mine, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck?
I've got a talent. Kayla Rye. Agenda. What the fuck is this agenda? I've got the description. Okay, here. Your job sucks. Practically everyone on this ship gets paid more than you for doing nothing. You want to do less work and get paid more for it. Your younger brother back on Earth is chronically ill, and your family keeps begging you to send more money to support them. There's a way to increase your share on this run, you'll do it. Loyalty doesn't pay the bills, so if you have to flip on someone to make more money, so be it. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
It's, you want money, but you gotta know what. And then specifically in the Act 1, find any angle to get more money out of the shit cargo run. Your sick brother back home needs the cash badly. Act 2, search the Kronos for cash or other valuable items that might sell back home if you survive. The ship is a derelict, right? Act 3, strike any deal to get enough money to support yourself and your family for good, no matter what the cost is to your soul.
Damn.
So you have a character that's more like is trying to help out their brother, but might your team might join the company representative,
yeah,
because it all means money for you. So
yeah,
it's just.
Yeah, they've got that for the NPCs for the Cronus in the PDF for.
Oh, they have agendas for them and stuff too.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I like that because you can just give it to people when they die, and they're just like, oh.
Yep. It's a full fleshed out character.
Is there any adjustments before we move on from Chariot of the Gods? I feel like we spent a good amount on it. Is there anything you would change that or a homebrew that you've seen that you changed that you really like?
I wouldn't. I would keep it as is.
Okay. So you like the game?
I like it. Yeah.
The only thing I added was audio logs, and specifically what I did is I wrote out a story because they talk about in the game. There is a character, Captain Johns, who they mutinied the original captain on when the ship was on the planet, and they stole the ship off. So not only is this like crew, like they present themselves as this really nice thing, but they're actually a crew mutineers. And we really don't hear about the original captain. So I wrote a story about the captain finding out what the Dracona strain was on planet and deciding that he made it his personal mission, like once the outbreak happened, to keep everyone on planet so that thing wouldn't get out. Like he was doing the greater good to humanity, and they like the last log you find is like when they mutiny and leave him to die.
Nice.
So by the time they had gotten to they were like with the crew to Act 3, they had gotten the full story, and all of a sudden their disposition towards Captain Johns changed completely. And it was cool because we had this unknown character. Like at the end, they took this unknown captain character that wasn't anything in the book before, and they were like, we're gonna finish his job. And I changed one of the androids that you can play as. It's the ship's medic.
Yeah.
Specifically, trying to look at her name here, or their name, Ava 6, who's
Ava 6.
Yeah, original general is just to help everyone. I changed it. It says help the humans on the crew survive without regard to your own safety. My personal agenda I changed it is complete the mission of the original captain without regard to your own safety. So
nice.
Ava 6, when everyone played as her, the person played as her, they were like, we need to destroy this ship. And that became that character's mission. And Ava 6 got destroyed. But Ava 6 got destroyed and was able to set the self-destruct up, though.
I dig that.
And,
I like that a lot.
Yeah, and it was a really cool moment. So yeah, it looks like you highly recommend it.
I highly recommend it, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're getting to almost to 15 minutes before our last hour. What we'll probably do is we'll quickly go through Destroyer of the World, just because it's just new. We'll give you a rundown on why you should play it.
Yep.
Just because Wes is trying to keep himself spoiler free, and I completely understand that.
Yeah. And it's not completely spoiler free, but because I'm skimming over it right now. I've skimmed through it, but so I get the overtake, like the overview of it, but I want to see them crisp, clean pages.
Yeah, and Destroyer of the Worlds could take us, like, if we really went into that, it could take us the rest of the night for this.
Because it's double the of Chariot of the Gods.
It's fucking a long ass book, which is good because it definitely would take multiple sessions, which I like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 89 pages. Like, holy shit. But yeah, and then after we'll talk about Upon Our Altar, which I think we're going to spend a good deal on. So, Destroyer of Worlds, if Chariot of the Gods is to Alien, then Destroyer of Worlds is Aliens.
Yes.
Which, you play as Colonial Space Marines.
Yep.
Your whole idea is you're like tracking down prisoners on this colony planet. Is the beginning of it, and it ends with a ride through hell as you blast out a space elevator.
Yep.
Like, it's so. I'm gonna lean back because I need to be comfortable. It's just like you skim. What was the impression you got as you skimmed through it?
It plays out like think of your favorite campaign from a Call of Duty game. Like I'm fond of Modern Warfare 2. It kind of plays like that to me. It starts out cut and dry. It says in the very beginning, it was supposed to be a basic manhunt mission. You're supposed to be hunting after AWOL Marines that have kind of got, like, they've shirked rank. They shirked rank and file, and they're gone on their own. And so you play a group of Marines that are supposed to hunt them down and bring them in. And it starts from that, like a very solid, like, Saving Private Ryan-esque, like, war story, and just fucking goes. It ramps up to 11.
Takes out, yeah.
It doesn't stop from what I could, like, tell, like, going over it. Like, they even have a quote from everybody's favorite Private First Class Hudson. We're on an express elevator to hell going down. That's like within the first 10 pages.
I think it is really true, and I think if you read what's the story, It's great. The last 2 lines. Yeah, the mission was supposed to be a simple manhunt. Instead, it turned out to be just another glorious day in the Corps.
Just another glorious day in the Corps.
I love the Corps. What is like every meal a banquet?
Every meal a banquet. God. I can wax poetic.
Oh my god. It is like, I really like your example of the Call of Duty campaign, because it's just over the top, but like still in vein with the rest of the, like, it makes sense.
And you've got like all the characters that you play. You've got Dante. You've got Ruth Ann Dante, who's like the breacher, who's like the explosives expert. You've got Hammer, who's a private, who's kind of like Hudson a little bit. You've got Mason, who's the sergeant, the gunnery sergeant, who's like who's like the specialist and like the squad leader. You've got Chaplain, who's the warrant officer, who's like the like, I don't know. It's like the what's the character from Platoon?
Oh,
not Willem Dafoe, but Tom Berenger's character. Yeah, who's kind of like that. Who's just like who's the medic, but who's just like off the rails. Like has lost his rocker. Then you've got Beatrice. You got Silva, the captain. You got Iona, who's the rifleman, who's like the nervous guy, who's like the nervous, quiet guy. Mm-hmm. You got Zemeski, who is more so like Hudson, who's like very a hothead, jumping at every noise and everything.
Yeah, just.
But yeah, you got Zemeski, Iona. The names in this are just fucking perfect. It's Zemeski, Iona, Silva, Chaplain, Mason, Hammer, Dante. Like, the perfect names for a squad of Marines.
It's oh my god, it's so good. And your group is gonna have a fucking great time.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much it's just, I've not run it yet, I'm not gonna lie. I've just needed to find a group to run it. So if anyone's interested in running this, let me know. I will run it for some people.
It lends itself so much into like the one-liners and everything.
Yeah, it's
and like you said, it's a fucking express like it ends in like a fucking like just crazy town.
Oh yeah, abso-fucking-lutely.
The colony that they're on is just fucking ruined.
Yeah, the colony gets... Okay, not to spoil everything for you, Wes.
Yeah.
But this game includes a manhunt, xenomorphs, more infected Trachona strain people, but now advanced.
The Anathema, right?
Yeah, Anathema. 2 factions going against each other and literally orbiting, bombarding each other at one point. Taking a broken space elevator, making a last-ditch effort jump from the elevator to try to get back onto your ship, while, like, oh my god, and traitors all around.
Like, everybody, like, because, like, there's also, like, a point where, like, I think you have to, like, essentially work with the AWOL Marines. You can choose to work with the AWOL Marines that you're, like, going up against.
Because the reason you're getting the AWOL Marines is, it's kind of a... like, you're kind of being lied to, which I like, because there's like a little bit of twat twist in there. But yeah, there's like, if you like Covenant and the Black Goo bombing, that comes out.
Yeah.
So so my only recommendation of why you would want to play this game is or get this game is if you want a multi-session game, it definitely would take at least 2 to 3 sessions. It's huge. And then you would also need to you would understand that this is going to be a lot more action oriented. So if you want more of a horror game, I say go with Chariot of the Gods. If you want something balls to the wall, action crazy, go with Destroyer of Worlds. And the fact that we have both is great. Because does that mean the next scenario is going to be Alien 3? Like Alien 3-ish? Like,
could be. I know that we know they're working on something. They're working on the source book for the Colonial Marines.
For a campaign and a campaign guide, right?
Yeah, campaign guide. Yeah.
So we got 2 books that were confirmed on our stream. First on our stream, right? Like, I think
that was exclusive. Yeah.
A world first. So which was awesome.
It's fucking crazy.
I know. We didn't expect that because because we didn't even we got the interview the day before. Remember, Wes? I was like, hey, we're going to do this. And you're like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
We got the interview the day before. He was like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do a short 30-minute interview. All right. They announced it that morning of.
Yep.
We're fucking going insane. We're like, I'm like, what? Then we interview him, and he's like, yeah, we're dropping this. And he's like, and I'm not gonna confirm anything, but he inferred that they knew what the next piece of Alien media was going to be in terms of like movie or film or TV.
Video game or TV.
Yeah, they inferred that they knew some stuff.
Because they were working alongside.
They also wouldn't answer some of our questions because I think that it's like there's another license they might have.
Well, they have NDA, yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, we can't say anything, but we may or may
yeah.
not, they didn't say we may or may not. They're like, we can't answer that. So I'm
a solid set of a person who's signed a couple NDAs before, I understand.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that means we're either getting Predator, because I feel like that would be the natural next thing.
That would be dope.
Some people are thinking we might get the Thing.
That would be
good. I just don't know if you can make a full book about it, because you have one literal movie. So it's like...
you got two.
Okay, do people really want to talk about the Thing in the 2011's The Thing?
I like the 2011 prequel. I just think that they should have gone practical over
Which
CG.
they wanted to, and the studio fucked them for it.
The studio fucked them. That's a different conversation.
Yeah, give it... you know what, I want a system for Event Horizon.
Well, they're rebooting The Thing. Carpenter like announced it yesterday or 2 days ago.
Oh, it might be an arrival.
That Blumhouse is like reboot. That Blumhouse bought the rights to it. Or didn't buy the rights, but is like been allowed, by Universal, I think.
So maybe that is, it would coincide. Shit, I almost said something I wasn't supposed to, so I have to keep we should probably get off this topic. Something you told me, you know exactly what I'm saying. So, specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, Destroyer of Worlds, it's new. If you want like something that's akin to a multi-act, like you want to get your friends on for a little like adventure, that'll take about like a few weeks to play. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, sorry, Big Dad. Pups won't play Alien. She's told me many times. I tried to. You're barking up the wrong tree there, unfortunately. But yeah, Get the book. The book's good. The book's all about shooting, having fun. So you got your horror and you got your fucking colonial marines.
Yeah, if you pre-order the book right now, like the physical copy, or you can buy the PDF right now. I think you can buy the PDF for. No, it's pre-orders only, right?
Yeah, pre-orders only right now. You can't buy it yet. It's not released yet, so.
So it's pre-orders only, but you get the PDFs.
Yeah, pretty much immediately, which is good. I cannot wait to add another book on my shelf. Freely just makes some beautiful books. Yeah,
the artwork. I buy them essentially for the artwork.
I need a new setup. Like I've just been piling them here, and it's just been like.
I've got this shitty little. I have to get a Billy because I've got this shitty I've got this 2 shelf, like for my tabletop books behind me. And I've got some of my favorite books behind me right here, and then I've got all my trade paperbacks to my right here. I need to, and my Blu-rays are over here. I just need to get a Billy. Just get like a big old Billy IKEA.
I'm not gonna lie. What the fuck are you talking? What is a Billy?
A Billy it's the most popular bookshelf in the world. It's sold by IKEA.
I'm gonna look this up. If I swear to God, this isn't like gonna blow my mind of a bookshelf.
Show us Wally.
Oh,
he's the Wally without paying the points.
Okay, it's a. Oh, so Billy is just it's just a tall bookshelf, like.
Standard tall bookshelf, yeah.
That's what they're called? Wow, I never knew that.
It's the Billy. Everything, yeah.
So is a single Billy just a row, like a column?
Yeah, it's just a column.
Like when you say I have 8 Billies, so you have 8 columns. Okay, yeah.
8 columns of bookshelves, yeah.
That's cool.
I wish I had.
I've had Billies before. Then yeah.
I need like 3 though.
I have a Billy that's turned on its side. Does it count? Like
it counts.
Yeah. So this has been paid and turned on its side. But it used to be. That's 2. Okay, that's interesting. I have 1 Billy. I have 2 Billies. No. That doesn't sound. Someone tunes in. He's like, "You have 2 Billies?" Yeah, I have 2 Billies behind me in my office on the ground.
Have the Kallax.
What? Is there a whole classification? All right. You know what? Whatever.
IKEA has everything. We can talk about IKEA later.
IKEA Free League. IKEA. It's
both Swedish.
Both Swedish.
Yeah. If you want to talk about IKEA later, hit up the Discord. I did a little bit of mod stuff right there.
There you go. hit the Discord up. We're gonna take a 5-minute break, and then Wes, I'm going to fucking grill you on Upon Her Altar. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Then let's take a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
And let's get our shit together.
Okay.
All right, friends. We will be back. Wait, let me put the music on. Wait, don't transition just yet.
Don't transition just yet.
We'll be back in 5.
We'll be right, Billy.
And we're back as I finish my banana bread.
Oh, you caught me. You caught me counting down too. And you eating banana bread. Oh, God, we're so professional.
I think people like that more. People loved when they came in and we were just like talking shit
about
on
music.
Yeah, like fuck, man. That's what it's about.
I feel like the elbow of the internet.
Well, okay.
Like I'm necessary, but nobody wants that.
Oh my gosh, fuck off. Dude. We love you, Wes.
I'm fishing is what I'm doing.
You're legitimately like my favorite person to do a stream with. Sorry.
You too. I love you.
I would say Ian, but me and Ian never do streams together because we did one game together. That was our first game together.
Ian and Marchosius are like the ballers club. Or like the ballers club. Like if you get in a stream with them, then you're fucking.
Yeah, you're good to go.
every time I get in a stream with Marchosius, I'm like, damn, I feel like Kobe right now.
Mark, I still need Mark to run me a game, and that's all 3 high councils that's running me a game. Yeah. And I need Bran and Dan. I really want Dan to run me a game, but I heard Dan's like top tier. Not that Bran isn't top tier. Bran's amazing.
Bran's top tier. You're all top tier.
Bran's beautiful.
You're all top tier.
I'm not gonna reveal the person I was talking to, but I was joking around and being like, yo, you gotta rank everyone in the high council and Scylla, like who's the himbo. I was finishing with compliments because I was like, obviously it's me.
Obviously it's you.
Yeah, it's me. And they were like, yeah. They're like, yeah, Bran's the top. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what? Get out of here. I was so angry.
Bran a himbo.
No. I think they were saying Bran was the cutest.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Which is cool.
He's cute.
Yeah, he's
really
cute.
Really cute.
Danny's lucky. Danny's lucky we didn't get to him first.
That's right. Bran has a thirst crew. Oh yeah, it's true.
He does. I feel like he does. Oh my god, so much. But
I love it.
I'll fight everyone. I'll become the himbo eventually.
I mean, then my slash fiction will come true. A Gehenna Gaming fan fiction. I do too? Get out of here. No, I don't.
Does Wes have a thirst crew? I think so, but I think it's just me. Straight up romance.
That's true. I can't do the worm. You won't think I'm cool. I can't do the worm. Now I'm just like.
Shut the fuck up. I hate you so much.
I'm punching. Hey, there's Wally, by the way. There's a cat on stream. You guys have to drink.
No, he's not only. It's not. You gotta get him closer because I had to like crop.
You had to crop him. Ah, fudge.
You fucked.
Hey, buddy. I know you like to get on the shelf here.
Oh my god, he actually noticed that there's a book here and won't go on the shelf.
Yeah. The books.
Oh, he's coming. Oh boy, he's coming.
Oh Lord, he coming.
Oh Lord, he coming.
Oh, here he comes. There he is. There he is.
You might think I'm drinking milk. I'm actually drinking synthetic blood.
There you go. That's what it looked like last time we were on. Anyways, back to the topic.
Oh shit.
Have you finished your banana bread yet? I don't want you to.
No. It's good. I'm just be drinking this milk halfway. Milk was a good choice.
Milk was a bad decision.
He's like drinking on the hot ass day. We're ready to take Baxter off the wall. Okay, speaking of Anchorman, the gay RPG will happen eventually, but today
the RPG. They've got Wet Hot American Summer, the RPG. Why not Anchorman?
Yo, I run Wet Hot Americans Summer in Monster Hearts. It's called Wet Hot American Monsters.
That's another thing. I need to get on a Monster Hearts game. So
I'll run you, dude.
Yeah,
fucking every time.
Yeah, I need to get fucked up.
Only if you play Himbo.
Of course, yeah, Werewolf Himbo.
Werewolf Himbo.
There he goes.
There you go. That's what Kay always plays. So, yeah, man. Is that Wally?
That's Wally.
That's adorable.
Sounds like Tom Waits.
He sounds like what?
Tom Waits.
Oh, I always want to make crack a joke when you're mid drink.
Oh yeah.
Just milk everywhere.
Then you get a clip of me dying on stream. And then, yeah. That's how GG gets that partner level, is that they get 5,000 followers because somebody died on stream.
I'm drinking milk.
That's how you get that clout, that internet clout.
That clout, that
I drank up. I done drank. I'll do it again.
Boy, did I catch you drinking milk? My baby. Okay, so
Water.
Shit, man. What we were talking about? Oh yeah, Upon Her Altar, a game written by one Wes Franks.
That's me.
I hear you know this gentleman.
Yeah, no, it's me. Yeah. So, like we were talking about earlier before the break, we were talking about modules that have been written within the universe of Alien the RPG.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, there are only three that have been published. There's Hope's Last Day. There's Chariot of the Gods, and then there's Destroyer of Worlds. There's 3. I hope for there one day to be another one to that. Oh, we know there's going to be 4.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one coming out. But I hope to be the 5th one, hopefully. So I wrote Upon Her Altar in a fit of madness. Like manic, like, because it was before VHC.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asked, I think it was either Marchosius or Ravnos asked me, hey, we want you to run games for VHC. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. Like, gave me a list of, like, games to run.
That was the email they got back was fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'll do it. I think it started with a Discord message and then it became more professional with an email just to be a little bit more official. But, and so I was like, and they're like, we'll pick games that you want to run. Game systems that you want to run. And I was like, word, okay. And I like put, like, I think I was supposed to run D&D, Vampire the Masquerade, Alien the RPG, and Tales from the Loop.
That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games. I ended up cutting Vampire the Masquerade and D&D because I was on panels, which was dope because I got to focus more on Alien and Tales from the Loop.
Yeah, and you were actually, that's when wasn't the first conversation we had together, but that was the first like online interaction, yeah.
like face to video camera webcam interaction.
Tones and atmospheres with the great Jason Carl as well.
Yeah, that was a kick-ass fucking.
Yeah, those are some good fucking panels.
Was it that was Jax was on that?
Yep.
Jax was on that panel. Jason Carl was on that panel. Rick was on that panel.
That panel.
You and me.
There is one other person. I'm a butt. I'm gonna find. No. I know exactly what their Twitter handle is.
I'm a butt if I forgot who it was.
Yes. Fuck.
I'm a butt.
Rachel Judd was on that panel. There we go.
Yes, Rachel. God. I'm a butt. But speaking of butts, but so I was very, very busy for VHC. But I was like, I'm not gonna run Hope's Last Day because I've had an idea kicking around in my brain for something that I wanted to write for Alien, because I love Alien.
Yeah.
I love Alien. I love the universe. I love the movies. I love all that good stuff. So I was like, I want to write something that fits within the canon. So I wrote Upon Her Altar, which is a title that I took from a Bible verse. It's fucking Acts, I believe, but I changed it. Let me pull it up here real quick. I have it written down somewhere. I just know that a death metal Anada took it. It's Ezra 3:3. Mm-hmm. And they set upon his altar, talking about sacrifice and stuff like that. But the whole thing with Alien is that it's not a father, or it's not like like a god or anything like that.
It's mother.
It's mother. It's the alien queen, and so I swapped it to upon her mother, or upon her altar. Upon her mother.
Upon her mother. That's a sequel.
Yeah. And I'll just read the opening blurb to it. What's the story, Mother? Because most modules start that way within the Alien canon that's published by Free League. The year is 2145. Humanity is constantly striving to claim, create, and discover. Almost too much. The players will be stepping into the shoes of the crew of the USCSS Matzinger as they make way to deliver a multitude of necessary goods along with a classified shipment to JPG 770 that are known as Gorham's Folly. It is a routine delivery until only 24 hours from their destination. Tragedy strikes the crew. Do the remaining survivors have what it takes to outlast whatever is coming for them and make it to planetfall? I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies. Which is, that ending bit is a quote from Ash.
From Ash, from the first film.
And I have it, it's set in the canon between Alien and Aliens, and it takes place after Alien Isolation. What are you doing?
He's just cleaning himself.
He's cleaning himself. Well, yeah. So, it's set in between Alien and Aliens. Takes place after Alien Isolation. It's 2145. Alien Isolation takes place in 2131, I think.
Yep.
I believe. But it is essentially. So you play the crew of the USCSS Matzinger, who's named after Polly Matzinger. Polly Matzinger is a French immunologist who proposed the danger model theory of how immune systems work. So that kind of plays into everything as well. When I was writing upon her altar, I wanted to do something that felt familiar, much like how Chariot of the Gods does feel familiar to the first movie. I wanted it to feel familiar because I wanted it to be set on the Matzinger. It's a crew. But it's not like just like it's a ship that's for Weyland Yutani. It's owned by Weyland Yutani. It's not just a random ship that's being like rented by Weyland Yutani or anything like that. But I wanted a murder mystery. I am, and I think most people that know me very familiarly have played in games that I've run. I like to put murder mysteries like in the second act of my games. Every game that I've run, I have a murder mystery of some sorts within it.
Yeah.
If it's like a long-term campaign, because those interest me. There's nothing I love more, like stuff like Knives Out, any of the Agatha Christie stuff. I've been in a bunch of them as plays. I was in the Mousetrap. I love like
Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah. I like the idea of somebody on a closed container. Death on the Nile, Murder on the Orient Express. You're in a closed off place from the rest of everywhere, and somebody dies, and you got to figure out who did it.
So
it's a whodunit.
Yeah. So on a whodunit alien game.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm liking that concept. That's.
And it takes place on the Weyland Yutani owned. It's the model CM88G Bison Matzinger. So it's close to the Nostromo, but it's closer to the Anisadora. It's a later model than the Nostromo of the Bison. It was once a military vessel. It's been retrofitted into a transport and research vessel specifically. And the game is made for 4 to 6 players, and it's a 12-person crew. It's been retrofitted so that ship typically only holds 7 people. I thought that it would be more interesting if we had double that, if we had 12 people.
So it's kind of cramped in there.
It's very cramped in there because I wanted it to feel claustrophobic and cramped. And like the whole description I have it is people eating over each other, like when they're like eating down in the galley, they're reaching over each other, they're having to bump past each other, all this different stuff. I want it to feel close because I wanted the players to feel like the characters are close. And that's the thing that I wanted to make sure is that every single one of the crew members are close, except for 3 individuals in particular. That's the company agent, who is escorting the classified object. That is a colonial marshal. That is going to Gorham's Folly. It's the new sheriff for Gorham's Folly. And then the chief science officer of the ship, of the research vessel, which is Dr. Griffin Tandor, who has replaced the most recent chief science officer after they had died. So this crew is so tight knit that a year previously, like a couple like jobs previously, they're still mourning the death of the chief science officer.
Oh yeah.
And one of the other crew members' sister, who got them that job. That happened when they got like hijacked by marauders. And a risky maneuver got one of them killed, and so the crew's been kind of on edge since then. They've been kind of mourning.
Yeah.
So that kind of, so I wanted to introduce that within agendas and everything like that. I wrote personal agendas for all the characters. I wrote all the characters, and we can go over the characters too if you want to. But like I wanted it to feel there's a tension on board, and everybody has a stake. Everybody has a finger that they're pointing at somebody else about who caused the death. And you have these 3 people that don't belong on this ship.
And they're just outsiders. So even though they might not have like personal grudges against them, they're still like, they're not one of us.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
No, I really like that. So just to kind of get into your thought process before we jump into it more.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a person. You've run a group that's through Hope's Last Day. You've run a group through Chariot of the Gods. You might even play Destroyer of the Worlds. You want to write your own scenario, whether it just be a cinematic scenario or something, anthology later on.
Yeah.
What, in your mind, where's the first place you start? Where's like the practical?
It's where I start with everything. Setting. Okay. Where do you want to be set? Also the tone of the game. What are you going for?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going for like Destroyer of Worlds, a bug hunt? Are you going for high stakes, high-paced action? Are you going for creepy horror that's like body horror, sci-fi horror? Are you doing Chariot of the Gods? Are you setting it on a sci-fi, like a science facility?
Yeah.
Are you doing something like The Thing, where it's in a barren wasteland?
Doesn't even have to be in space, yeah.
It doesn't have to be in space. It can just be on the ground. It's in you're in a research facility in a barren like landscape, to where if you tried to escape without like any kind of vehicle means, you would surely die of exposure.
Yeah.
So are you doing like a more survival game? Or are you doing a whodunit? So figure that out, then figure out your setting. And then you go from there.
Okay, so you knew like right away when you started, like, all right, I want this on a ship.
Yes.
And then did you come up with the Matt Singer name and like the concept before, or is that just like?
So I wanted, so when I was like, okay, I'm coming up with a ship, I'm coming up with like the let me hydrate here real quick.
That's fine. I don't have any more milk. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. I'll drink for you.
Hey, Valen.
Howdy. But before I got into the nitty-gritty details, I wanted to have an outline.
Okay.
And this is what you should be doing for any project that you're writing on. I don't like, some people don't write with an outline, and I applaud you. George R.R. Martin's one of those people, and look how it's turned out for him. That is an example.
I just was about to say that. Like I thought you were saying as a positive. Like, yeah, but fucking.
I'm not saying I'm a better writer than George R.R. Martin. He has been published way more times than I have. I have only been published once, and that was in like a short story anthology thing.
Really?
Don't even bother trying to find it. I don't think it exists at all. I can help you find it though if I can. But I'm not saying I'm a better writer than him. I'm saying I'm more organized than him because he doesn't use an outline and it shows. Use an outline. If you're doing stuff for like tabletop, write an outline. And you don't have to have like the middle parts, but have a beginning and an end point. Where do you want this, like what are you trying to accomplish? What is your goal for this story? And you don't have to have like an ending written, but like have branching ways of like what different things can happen, different possibilities. If they do this, then this happens. If they don't do this, then this happens, which causes this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to have, and it doesn't look like an arc.
Yeah.
It looks like a web or a family tree. Like
a choose your own adventure almost, like
yeah,
like a flow chart. There we go.
Yeah, you want a flow chart. But like you want, like, yes, the ship is a character too, very, very much so. And so you go from there, like a flow chart of sorts, but I don't fill out any of the middle parts, except for like they have in Chariot of the Gods or Destroyer of Worlds or Hadley's Last Hope events. If this happens, it triggers this. Or if this doesn't happen, then use this to move this to this area.
So you have like safeguards, but more of.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have different ones. It's not all leading to an endpoint, but it's like if they do this, then do this. Take the streamed game that I did for VHC over on the Gehenna Gaming YouTube. It went completely off the rails. They went down a whole flowchart. They got to the end of the flowchart. They found the ending of the game in the beginning.
Really? Just by accident, or?
By accident.
Now, has that caused you to go back and fine tune it, or was that just that you're like whatever?
That whatever. I mean, if that happens, it happens. But then you have a completely different game. Then you don't have a murder mystery on your hands anymore. Then you have a completely different game.
That's awesome. How that there's like almost an organic growth to your story.
Mm-hmm. It helped me write that into a possibility that it could happen. That wasn't off the cuff. That was an audible that happened, and now it's part of the system, or not the system, the module. But yeah, so I start with tone, setting, outline, and then I start doing the meat and potatoes.
I would say, I feel like if they can get those three things down, they could probably run the game on the edge of their seat. As you don't even need the meat and potato, you just let the shit guide itself.
Just let it, let the characters run it, let the players run it. That's one of my favorite things about like running tabletop, is that like most of my most memorable times, I'm barely even involved. I just provided the basketball court and the ball, and they played a full game without me. As my most memorable.
Yeah, that's like collaborative storytelling, like at its fucking finest.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean that's that once you get, like you said, once you get tone, setting, outline, then just go.
Just jump in from there.
Just jump in. Yeah.
That's really good tool tip for just people that want to write their, because writing your homebrew content, it's secretly what every GM wants to do. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it gets done better than others, you know.
I've got so many Google Docs of failed ideas, or ideas I haven't even attempted, because I was just like, moving on, I found something better, or I've hit a wall, something, and like so I have them in a collection, and it's like running a different game. I might come into it, I might come up back against it, and do it again. And Upon Her Altar is just the first one that I have done. I have finished.
Yeah, you have planned to have a lot more.
I have at least 3 more that are outlined. I've got one that has been outlined and has some details written. So I've got about 5 more like scenarios written.
That's awesome. I love to see the Wes anthology.
Mm-hmm. That's the plan for the stream, is to run a Alien anthology.
Yeah, you were telling me about before. So all your own homebrew content. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If I can get permission from Free League to do it, then I'll do it. That's just the thing, is that like I've got to get essentially like a A-OK from them to be like, can I stream this regularly instead of just doing a promotional stream to promote your
like this is
product.
something you want to.
Yeah.
No, I totally get it. I think that's just kind of the thing a lot of us been trying to do. But no, I think that, you know, seeing how much you've put into this and seeing how much like you love this game. Yeah. It's inspiring to see, because you okay, so you definitely have a more of history and writing background than some of our like normal GMs might, but you still are the case point that it's possible to write your own game and your own module in Alien and make it just as good as the modules.
Yes. Yeah.
So we get how you write it, or we get how you started. Let's delve in. Let's talk about, you know, you talk about the characters.
Yeah. And
you talk about you wanted this close-knit people and you want these 3 outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of writing the agendas, what was the feel? Were you just did you want to pit all the characters against each other in a certain way? Were you trying to build a story out of their agenda, like of what happened in the past? What's kind of your field of view there?
So I wanted there to be clear party lines between members of the crew. Mm-hmm. They're all familiar with each other. They're all friendly with each other, but I wanted there to be a clear line with their personal agendas and their buddies and rivals. I wanted it to be clear where you could draw a point to be like, if X happened, this person would be on this person's side, this person would be on this person's side, and like this person would be in the middle, but could go either way depending on who said what, who did what, which I think is the very like crux of like a proper cast of characters in a whodunit. Mm-hmm. Is that you want that moment. If you think of the movie Clue, or if you think of any kind of like Knives Out or anything like that, you want there to be backstabbing. You want there to be I'm working with this person, or I'm like, like I'm friends with this person, so I'm going to try to help them. Like, I think this person did it. Like, I don't even think this person did it, but I want to put them on. I want to throw them under the bus because they personally offended me.
Because you're and like some issue with the past.
And I wanted to make it a point where that would never be on the table with this crew, unless something happened, unless he put the catalyst, which is the death of another member of the crew,
which is what we open up to.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like it opens up with and another thing that I wanted to put in with, there's a time limit. Essentially, you've got 48 hours until planetfall.
So
you've got the new sheriff of Gorham's Folly is essentially your Hercule Poirot.
Okay, that's
on the ship. And so he's got 48 hours to figure this out, because when he lands on Gorham's Folly, he needs to be like, this is essentially his job interview. He's already got the job, but this is him being like, I've already solved a goddamn murder on my way here. I'm that good.
It's awesome because like when most people think of a time limit, they think of like something that's necessarily like world ending, like everyone's gonna die. But no, your time limit is they land planetfall and the culprit gets away.
Culprit gets away. Yeah, as soon as they hit planetfall, the culprit could get away.
Yeah.
So everybody has buy-in for that. And that's the reason I did 48 hours is because it starts with everybody waking up from cryosleep, which is typically the time, like you got about a 48 to 72 hour period.
Yeah.
Of where you go, like you go from this point, like when you're like flying in the ship and you're in cryosleep, then you have about a 48 to 72 hour period in between. To readjustment, and when we're coming up on planet.
And that's cool because you have shifts. Like shifts are like a huge thing in this game. Taking time, and now you have to actually accurately count out your shifts.
Yep. So yeah, that was the thing. So you have a cast of characters that are memorable cast of characters that play into tropes. You have a time limit, and I had to make sure that I had a Perot. Yeah, like VJ said. VG said there was going to be a Perot.
What'd you say?
I know Perot would come up.
Oh no, I thought you said what you called BG before.
Oh, did I say BJ?
Yeah.
I slipped up. I've got a speech impediment.
No,
no, it's okay.
Vulgarity, what the fuck?
The vulgarity, what the fuck? This is professional. Okay, but yeah. So it's a cast of 12 characters. And that's why I upped it, because I wanted it to be cramped. Also, I wanted there to be a point where it's like, well, how could anybody commit murder? It has to be somebody that like stayed up all night. Well, let's check the ship camera, stuff like that.
Well, it's also cool because like multiple people can be in on it. I'm guessing, right? Like or people can know who did it and be like, well, that's my friend. I'm not going to turn them over.
Yep. So do you want me to go over the crew real quick?
Yeah, no, dude. Whatever. This is the last half hour. It's for you. Like.
So the crew is made up of Captain Amara Bashira.
Okay.
So the NPCs, the ones that are strict NPCs, are the ones that I named. And I didn't want the captain to be a name, like a playable character, because I like the idea of like a captain, like think of Dallas from Alien. You think Dallas would be the main character. He's the captain. He's the leader of the crew. But no, it's somebody that's in a secondary officer role that steps up. So you got Captain Amira Bashara, who's the captain, and just went off with handed out some tropes. A tough as nails captain that worked her way up through Weyland-Yutani bureaucratic bullshit to be able to captain her own ship. Will do anything for the good of the crew, even if it means breaking Weyland-Yutani code of conduct. Is married to the navigation officer, Kadira Bashara. Kadira is another character that I was like, no, it has to be an NPC. Kadira, Kadira is a top-notch navigator, can read a star map backwards, forwards, and upside down. Honestly, if it wasn't for her, then the captain would have crashed this hunk of junk. Most would think married to your captain would be harmful to the crew environment, but most of the crew would agree that it's kept things on the Matzinger even and open. Kadira is a huge fan of baseball and keeps to herself mostly unless it's time to eat. She cooks most of the crew's meals if they have the ingredients. So I liked that dichotomy of there being, because I took that from Alien Covenant, because it's a I liked the fact that there was
married
like couples. They're all married couples because they're frontier.
Yeah,
they're going to go
population bombing essentially.
Population bombing, exactly. But I like the idea. Because that also brings up interesting things because you have a married couple now on board, and like that like
there's like a certain allegiance that overrides Wayland Yutani on there.
Yeah. Then next is Executive Officer Phelps, and this is a PC. But if not chosen, if this character isn't chosen, then it'll become an NPC. Executive Officer Phelps always had the stars in their blood. Their father was a pilot, and his father was a captain. So it only makes sense that they joined up with one of the best regarded crews in the Middle Heavens. It's a calm contrast to the captain's fiery demeanor and very much has the respect of the crew. Feels guilt over the death of Lila, the former science officer.
Yes.
And even though the pilot Good took the fall, it was Phelps' call that got her killed. So that's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah. Yeah, so that's and another thing that you'll see with me going off these characters, unless they're specifically NPCs, they have no gender, they have no first name.
Okay.
When I first wrote it, I gave first name options. There was 3 options, and they were like, you had 2 gendered and 1 that was like not gendered at all. That was like androgynous name. But then I was like, I'm gonna do it because when you think of Alien and aliens, everybody gets called by their last name anyways.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense because in the original draft of Alien, I know we've talked about this a bunch of times, but
yeah,
any gender could have been any of the characters. They didn't care. Like they chose to just come with whatever they thought was cast best. Yeah, Otter Poet said something really interesting. Do a real riff on Agatha Christie. Like, she didn't write it with knowing who the murderer was. Instead, she wrote so virtually anyone could have been the killer.
Yeah, which is kind of what I'm going for, and that's what I'm working on in this draft right now, is making it, because when I first wrote it, for Virtual HorrorCon, there was 1 killer.
Now there's multiple.
Now
options.
It can be multiple options.
That's so cool. Something that's kind of interesting to me. You've made a game like this whodunit mystery. Like, you don't even need the alien in here, and by the sound of it, doesn't even sound like it is. It just sounds like the real danger is the people around them. I'm sure carrying classified cargo. There's something there, but
of course you have to.
Yeah.
Going down the next list, you've got the pilot Good, who was originally Wyatt or Wilma, but it's Good now. Okay. Brash, reckless, and a damn good pilot. Good is always down for a good time. That's why they have it tattooed over their heart. Can maneuver a Conestoga-class frigate better than most pilots, can fly a VTOL, and isn't scared to get behind the wheel of anything with an engine. Took the blame for Lila's death so Phelps wouldn't get demoted, still wonders if it was worth it. So I went with a very, Maverick style.
Also, I'm surprised that Good is still, piloting.
Yeah. Which gets brought, up within, with, some of the NPCs. Which is, it's something, if you go and watch that BHC thing, there's a great, Mike Hollywood played Wyatt Good, and was, perfect to a T. To a fucking T.
Oh my god.
That was my first time even meeting Mike Hollywood.
Can I just give a shout out real quick to Mike Hollywood and Meredith?
Mike and Meredith.
Oh my god, they are amazing. These two, they're amazing. They did Chicago by Night. I played in games, not with them both together, which I feel would be awesome, but I GM'd a game for Mayor, and then I played a game with Mike, and they were both spectacular and amazing, super positive people. Give them all your love.
Yes.
Also, Mike totally fucking locked me up as when he was playing as La Sombra, and strangled me in midair. But you know what? I still, it's okay. I forgive and forget.
Still have love.
Still have love. Yeah. So continue.
Yeah. So next is the Wayland Yutani company agent, Rasmussen, which at first was named Tomas Rasmussen, which was named after Tomas, the guy that created. It was my own little ode to fucking Tomas.
I love that.
But for Rasmussen, nothing but business is the motto. Anything more gets you in trouble, which is exactly why Rasmussen is in this position. Having to share food and bunk space with a grease monkey all because of one bad deal, which is he's bunking with the roughneck. Overambitious and overeager to please any Weyland-Yutani executive, Rasmussen was top of their business class and able to make themselves useful to the corporation. That was until they made a bad investment in an old friend's livestock company and almost brought embezzlement to the light. So this is their punishment, delivering some random shipping crate to a backwater mining colony. No tampering, no touching, and definitely no opening. Easy money, though, and hopefully the only favor they'll have to do to get back to the company's good graces.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
But a murder would definitely not smooth that thing over.
Not smooth that over. It's like, okay, we put you in charge of this, and now you got a fucking murder on your hands on a company ship. What the fuck, man? Next is Palmanos, is the medic. Palmanos has a ton of opinions on modern medicine. Palmanos has even more opinions on archaic medicine and how useful it can be. Not every patient is going to be a clean white room with a laser cutter able to precisely make the cuts you need to remove a piece of rebar or bullet. Sometimes you have to get your hands dirty. It's very religious. Jesus Christ is always in the passenger seat, is always the co-pilot. Yeah.
Take the wheel.
Take the wheel. Next is Wu, the security officer. Sec Officer Wu is the very embodiment of a jarhead, a former colonial marine that has constantly been the butt of jokes and dealt with being an outsider until retiring and joining the crew of the Matt Zinger. They found a second family and a place to belong, which leads to them vehemently defending them no matter what. Wu is a capable and talented soldier, but quick to act and a bit of a hothead. And that's Wu's agenda. Personal agenda is if anybody tries to accuse another member of the crew, they will defend them no matter what, like vehemently, no matter what. So if the sheriff accuses one of the member of the crew, it's like no, I know them.
That's awesome.
I should have bucked with them. Like that is your personal agenda, is that this is your family, because I wanted that to be written as like they've always felt like an outsider because they got like left out because they're a little bit skinnier than the rest of the Marines or what have you. You can make it whatever your thing
And this crew's their family. Like this crew's their first time.
family. It's the first time they felt accepted.
It's like good intentions, but it could lead to like it'll suck when they're trying to actually track down. Yeah.
Next is Reeves, Gorham Folly's new sheriff. Not too much is known of Officer Reeves. On the offset, they seem grizzled and experienced, clearly someone who knows the law and how to uphold it, helps the crew in their everyday duties, and genuinely seems like someone who wants to get to know those around them. Is actually running from a dark secret that could compromise their position if let out.
Now, these are you can't play these NPCs, or you shouldn't.
No, you can play as these.
Okay.
These past ones. So the only ones that I've said so far is the captain and the navigator.
And the navigator. Okay, everything from Phelps onward, though. All right.
Yeah,
awesome.
for Phelps onward. Yeah. And the thing with Reeves is I based them off of Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott was the not Sam Elliott as the person, but Sam Elliott as the ideal, as the symbol. Sam Elliott, like grizzled, like to the point, like willing to have a drink with you and have a smoke, but also is
like the actor Sam Elliott, or
yes, like the actor Sam Elliott.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, and that dark secret is the agenda is you actually murdered the actual Gorham Folly sheriff, and you've taken their place. And so you have to make sure that nobody figures out that you're not the real sheriff.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So if anybody found that out, instantly people would think that's the murderer. But what if that's not the murderer? Then that's even better because you're a fucking murderer. But like, so what better person to play a colonial marshal, a sheriff, than a murderer? Get in the mind of a killer, because I've killed before.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's the shit that I was going for with Reeves. And then this is the next one is Dr. Aslov, the assistant science officer. An excitable and insightful member of the crew, typically sees the silver lining in situations and can find the solution to a problem in no time at all. Their typical good-natured attitude has soured recently with being passed over for promotion to chief science officer, especially since they've been with the ship since day one, and tried multiple times to get close to and develop a professional working relationship with Dr. Tandor, but is yet to crack their shell. So they were the assistant science officer when Lila was
died,
yeah, and so they were like, okay, well, I'm going to be the next one. That makes sense. I'm going to be chief science officer, and then Weyland-Yutani put Tandor on the show. For some reason.
Bad move.
Next is Masterson. Masterson never had any. This is the roughneck, engineering tech, and loader. Masterson never had many prospects in their short life, coming from Hadley's Hope, a small backwater colony on a backwater planet. They've always been a loader since they could work at a young age, but it wasn't until the Matsinger that they were appreciated for their technical know-how. They were able to be hired because of Masterson's sister, Lila, being the chief science officer of the ship. Masterson found a new family and a purpose on the ship and was always typically happy-go-lucky until the death of Lila. Since then, Masterson has been a shell of what they once were, leaning toward drinking and lashing out rather than cheerful, joking, and positive.
That's really like, it's like it's wholesome, some of these characters, but then it's like also sad.
Yeah, and so that's Masterson. Their personal agenda is, everything tells you to run away, but you have nothing to run away to. Try to find the good in everything and see if you can find a way into your family again.
So it's like a personal redemption agenda. Oh my.
Yeah.
These are some strong agendas, Wes.
Yeah. And then next is the next three. So the next one is the kid, which is the kid of Kadira and Amira Bashara, which is you play the captain and navigation officer's kid.
Okay.
So I have them just as junior, but it's essentially you're playing a happy-go-lucky kid that's trying to help out no matter what, even if they get in the way most of the time, is overly explorative and is willing to get into tight spaces to find a new hiding place or a place to get away.
And that'll be useful. Oh, I feel like that has the opportunity to like. So do you have on the maps? Do you have like ventilation shafts all marked too?
Yeah, I've got everything marked and stuff like that. That's what I'm doing right now, is currently building the maps.
That's awesome. How big the ship is?
How big the ship is? So let me go ahead and pull it up right here, because I've got the ship classifications and everything like that. It is the same size as the Anisadora, so it's only slightly bigger than the.
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know what the Anisadora is, that's from Isolation, right?
Yeah, Isolation. That's the ship they came in.
Yeah, so it's pretty much an exact replica.
It's a Corvus model, not the Bison, but the Corvus model. So it is 54 meters in length, and then it doesn't have its height and depth and everything like that.
But yeah, crew of originally
not 54.
6 to 7.
No, it's sorry, it's not the Corvus. It's the Bison, but it's the H, not the G. So it's 334 meters. That's my bad. 334 meters.
Still, though, that's kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cramped.
Yeah.
All right, now...
And then the last person on board is Dr. Tandoor.
Who we kind of already heard about, you know.
Yeah,
he was
the newest member of the crew, a bit of a dick. He was transferred from his scientific duties on Redacted to the Matsinger against his will, and he will carry on at length about it. Instead of bunking with the rest of the crew, he keeps his personal items in his office within the science lab. It's typically against regulation, but the captain is allowed for it. A bit kooky and a conspiracy theorist, it should be strange that for someone who speaks out against Wayland Yutani so much, he's very deep in their payroll.
So yeah, he's definitely the guy that like he was working on something big, something that might get brought up.
Yep.
And I'm guessing that's why you haven't read the agenda.
Yep. Yep.
Damn. I really just want to play in this more now. I just.
Yeah. It's and then I've got the full specs of the Matsinger, what it has. It's got drones, decoys, displacement drives, enhanced sensors, thrusters. It's got its own Star Club class shuttle, the Faraday, named after Daniel Faraday. It also has artificial intelligence, air scrubbers, 4 cargo bays, a cryo deck, a docking umbilical, 2 EEVs, a galley, and a med lab. Yeah, and I just give a little bit of a history of it. It goes like into like how deep it goes into it. I gave a little bit of backstory of some other stuff as well. And that's like that. All of that is given to the players, and then the rest of it is like is given into is for the game mother only.
Oh my
afterwards.
God, that sounds. I'm not gonna lie, you've got me kind of hooked. I don't even need the alien. I just this the interconnections of the crew. I like how they're, and I like how they're not like morally black or white. Like they all fall into their grade. They all seem like people that have fallen on hard times. Like
yes.
they have their wants, and they've kind of been denied, and it's just like, they all like each other. They're all like a family. But it's just it's almost a game about like grief.
Yeah,
like what it does.
There's grief and there's tension lines and everything like that. Because like also when I was going through like getting ready for VHC and writing this, I was also going through my own little bout of grief. I'd lost a close friend, and so I was like, I want to deal with this because of like it was like the nature of their death and like and everything and how it affected their direct family unit. So it's kind of in memory of them and also in memory of like their close tight like knit family unit at the time as well.
That's amazing. Are they named after any of the NPCs that are in this game?
Yeah. That's actually Palmanos is actually the medic. It's named after them.
I think there's something really beautiful to be said about using your your own personal like trauma and tragedy and just trials and feeling into your media. It definitely seems to have impassioned you for this.
Yeah.
I think it also brings up a super kind of the last point I want to make, because I know you don't want to delve into too much, but I thank you for giving me this awesome primer on it. Write from what you know, and if you have to use, I think use stuff that's familiar to you or that are, or helps you get through stuff. Like, cause holy shit, like from what you have done more work on this than I feel like I was not expecting. Cause I remember I was like, oh, hey, can I see the document of Upon Our Altar so we can talk about it? And you were like, dude, it's across like 4 different documents. It's like, crazy.
I've got, it's in its 5th draft right now, and I'm still adding stuff to it. I'm still adding more stuff to it. And it's also across, like I said, 4 different Google documents, as well as like a formatting for Word and everything like that. And like, it's and like it's at a stage right now where like I've got to finish writing it, and then after that I've got to figure out artwork and then layout, and then I have to see if I can even like publish the thing, because I can't right now.
Yeah, there's none of it.
There's no community sharing of
shit. Like, bring it. We've interviewed Tomas before. I'm sure they might be taking pitches.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
knows?
I just got to figure out if they have a submission thing for Free League, and then I can send it into Free League and be like, hey, I've got essentially a finished product here for you.
Worst comes to worst, you just publish it for free. Like, that's how it goes.
Yep.
But damn, just as I consider like the end all be all as we end our Alien, because I feel like we've gone through such a journey.
Yeah.
Through everything. What is Alien RPG? Like, if you had to like in its most boiled down, most concentrated version, what is this game?
A cinematic sci-fi horror experience to a cinematic sci-fi horror game to experience and then be able to walk away from is a thing. I the way that they designed it and the way that they've made like the rules and everything like that, and like they have like it for campaign play and stuff like that, but like it's through like what we've talked about in my own personal experiences with it. It's made for cinematic play. It's made for like it will like it's meant to be able to brought to your game friends and like, let's play this. We played it. Okay, now let's go play something else, and then we'll come back to this and play a different scenario or a different module. It's made for moments and experiences. It's not made for like how D&D is,
Or
where it's like continued play. We're gonna hammer this home because we've got 20 fucking levels to get through. They say here, like with the story points and everything like that, the experience points, you're leveling up the players. You're not leveling up the characters. The characters could die at any moment, so you get story points that like transfer over, and your experience points transfer over to characters.
One moment, Mr. Yellow. I'm gonna go ahead and link it to you. No, that's awesome. That's great that you want to see more about it. I'm fucking happy. Yeah, the first episode, we should have the episode and later in the week. Here's episode 1. So,
And that's where we go over more of the mechanics and stuff of it.
Yeah, and just like everything. This was definitely about like writing your own adventure, and there's our personal tips. And I love how you try to set it in your own like in canon. Okay, now the last thing I want to talk about. I know I said that probably a few times. The last thing, just what is your next dream scenario? Like what do you? Because I have an idea of like stuff I would want to write and like stuff I want to run. Mm-hmm. What's the concept that's been brewing in your head that you're like, I think this is the next thing I want to try to adapt for Alien, like the short pitch?
So the very next thing after this, so this is murder mystery. Mm-hmm. The very next thing is that I want to pitch is, I guess the best way to put it is, without getting too deep into it, is what's the fucking name of them? Donner Party in space.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is the next thing that's been, like, has some details written out, but it's been outlined and everything.
I learned some, some interesting stuff. Oh, man. I try to remember I learned some, like, interesting stuff about the Donner Party lately. It's, like, stuff that they did with, like, the horses, before the cannibalism started and all that. That's fucking crazy. That's wild, yo.
Yeah.
I really want to write... okay, it's gonna sound weird. I want to write aliens get into a zoo. And, like, so basically Jurassic Park with these... Yeah, because, like, what if an alien got into this host, into this host? Yeah. And, like, your characters would be, like, a ranger, a park ranger, someone that's just working there at, like, a low minimum wage, like, a space minimum wage job, and the park's head of security. Just take the characters in Jurassic Park because they're really good roles and just make a scenario like that, like electrify cages and fences, get the power back, like just crazy stuff. You know what specifically I want to do? A flying xenomorph.
Yes.
Like a xenomorph that sits into like a fucking, I don't even know what flying creature I could do, but like
fucking eagle.
Yeah.
Fucking condor. Nah, go bigger than eagle. Condor. Buzzard.
Condor.
Yeah.
Some sort of a huge mega albatross of some sort, like.
Yeah, something with a big old fucking beak.
And the ostrich of xenomorphs. Just an owl. Like, first off, owls are like the dumbest creatures in the entire world.
Could you imagine though? Could you imagine?
Just like little owl morphs. Do you know they had to teach the owl from Harry Potter? To go from point A to point B, it took 1.5 years to teach that owl that. Owls are dumb as shit.
It was like one of the most, other than like the visual effects, it was one of the most expensive things to do on Harry Potter, the first movie.
Owls are dumb as shit. Like,
crazy. It's crazy. They only know how to hunt, and that's it. It's so crazy that we equivocate the owl with wisdom.
Yeah, because it's dumb. But you imagine a xenomorph of owl, like it would have razor sharp talons.
Like your big dad said, imagine the head whipping around.
Oh my god.
Like fully oscillating, like.
It would just be Ridley from
Metroid. Metroid, yeah.
Yeah, it's a flying xeno. That would just be Ridley, like fucking. Yeah. Oh god. But yeah, I was just thinking like in a zoo would be cool. I also think it's like, no, it isn't so crazy. Yeah, yeah, you got me, Ben. Fuck off.
So crazy.
Like a xenomorph on a cruise ship. Or on a boat in general?
Yeah,
underwater xenomorphs?
That's one of mine that I have written is a pleasure barge. It's a cruise ship it's outlined, but it's like the fourth one that I've done. Because essentially what I did after I like did the first draft of Upon Our Altar, I like essentially had darts and I was just like throwing them against it. I was like, okay, cool. So it's like the second one was Donner Party. And then the third one was, I'll go ahead and say it. The third one was...
Just spill your secrets.
Yeah, well, the third one was, it takes place in an urban, like, environment. It's a city
Predator 2 Alien, like...
Yeah, Predator 2 Alien. But yeah, like, it's a city center and it's an apartment complex. And you've got to get from the top floor to the bottom floor.
You know what that reminds me of? Okay, so it doesn't take place in the park. Well, it takes place on a city. Dead Space has a lot of good, like... concept for that. And Dead Space 2, that was the whole thing.
Dead Space 2.
Like Dead Space 1 took place on a ship, and then Dead Space 2 took place on an entire city.
Yeah.
The sprawl, which I thought was cool.
Dead Space. Alien Dread. Yes. No. Like the Dread movie. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very much, because it's he had to start from the bottom floor and work his way up to Mama at the top floor. Yeah, but it's reversed. Yeah. So essentially, it would be. Think Ghost Ship. If you've ever seen the shitty movie Ghost Ship.
Is it a shitty movie?
Kind of.
I like it.
Oh no, not Ghost Ship. Poseidon Adventure.
Oh yes.
There's a party happening in a ballroom, but it's like a penthouse.
And the boat gets flipped over.
The boat gets flipped over, but you're in an apartment complex. There's a party happening on top, and then you have to make your way down to the bottom floor.
Who was in that? Was it like Kurt Russell in that?
Kurt Russell was in the remake. Yeah, that was just Poseidon. The Poseidon Adventure had he played Popeye Doyle in The French Connection. Gene Hackman was in the original.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I went upside down on a mining colony. Yeah, dude. That also runs me like. I would love. Okay, no, actually, I know which one I want to do. We talked about this. Give me Vincent Ward's original Alien 3 script as an adventure. The Wooden Planet, the Monastery.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It'd be great. The only other thing I could think of is like, it would be hard to adapt, but just like World War II Alien attack.
Oof. I love it.
I love
it so much.
Because okay, I hate to like be like bring these guys up, but like the Nazis did a lot of messed up stuff, and like we're known for experimentation. You get this kind of supernatural cult like fiction that comes from like Nazis. Who's to say they didn't like find an egg? So those eggs weren't around. Who knows? Engineer blood. Yeah. Doesn't have to be a xenomorph. It can be something else you make.
Yeah. Dude, could you imagine like Night Museum, but it's with aliens?
But they only awake at night. They mostly come at night.
Alien meets Overlord. Yes. Yes, Otter Poet. Oh god, Overlord was one of my favorite movies that came out like last year. I think it came out last year.
Dude, Nazi aliens.
It was so good.
Well, so if you played Legendary Encounters, one of the extra scenarios, including the expansion, which was really cool, was you're in a testing lab and all the xenomorphs are like bred to be super strong and have shock and control collars on them. So they've successfully weaponized them, and it's about you being like escaped like test subjects trying to get out.
Yep. Fuck yeah. I'm all about that. I'm all about that.
Yo,
yeah.
I'm just giving you ideas, man.
Have you played the game Paranoia before?
Yes.
It's kind of like a mix between Paranoia and because you're the test subjects.
Yeah,
so it's Alien and Paranoia. Oh god, that would be so good.
There's just so much cool shit to do. Alien is just one of those systems that is like outline it's open. We're getting a little bit over our time. We've passed 3 hours. One thing I want to say is, Wes, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy to have you on here, and I want you to be on here. I can't. I have work tomorrow.
I've got work
tomorrow. And then I'm going on a vacation. It's gonna be great. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God! Stop playing the street. Yes, I want it.
Ooh.
Pacific Island.
Ooh.
Godzilla fights the xenomorphs.
Could you imagine a Godzilla xenomorph? A kaiju xenomorph? Game over, man. Game over.
Pacific Rim versus kaiju xenomorph.
That's when you take the Lancers rule book and you throw in some Lancers so you can have a giant mecha battle against xenomorphs. Oh,
I do
God.
it. I mean, they never tell you how big the queen can get. I think one of the books actually has a flying queen in it. If like they're bugs, they should be able to fly.
Yeah, they're bugs.
Yeah, that's like...
That's their whole thing. I mean, they've got an exoskeleton. They're gooey on the inside. They're bugs.
They can survive molten lava. Shit, they're gonna be xenomorphs living. They're
like essentially roaches, right?
Yeah. Like,
if you see one, then you already have like at least 100 living in your walls or something. Isn't that the come on, chat? Isn't that the thing with roaches that like they tell you? Like, if you see one roach in your house, then
because
they're
a colony. It's like ants.
Yeah,
that's most bugs. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, like wasp style xenomorphs.
Well, that's the thing is like they have these other creatures in the book that we've talked about.
Yeah, the nanoswarm, like
the scorpionids. Could you imagine like an alien form of like the swimming scorpions and like
that'd be fucked.
The lion worms. Bro.
Jesus, bruv.
Jesus, bruv.
Wait, bruv. It'd be scary, innit?
Yeah, it's scary, innit?
Scary, innit?
Just need one face hugger, and you just grab that face hugger, and you have them go.
I think it can. I can't. Facehuggers can't. There's one fucking media that does that where it's like, you could plant multiple eggs. Oh, you know what happened too? That was in Alien vs Predator Requiem. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, AVPR,
When
yeah.
they like face hug the
Predator.
but they face hug the pregnant women in the hospital.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like,
and then the baby.
Yeah, it's just like multiple of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
That movie, man.
That movie was like real
Fucked
intense.
up. That movie was fucked up.
Yo, that kid got killed in the beginning. We forget
about
that kid.
I don't know who that director was, but he pulled was that Paul Thomas Anderson did AVPR?
Paul W. said no.
Not Paul Thomas Anderson, but Paul W.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, he was doing Resident Evil at that time. Let's see, directed by
Greg Strauss and the Strauss brothers.
Fucking that did The Bay and like. Okay, they haven't really done a lot of good movies.
They did Skyline
and Beyond Skyline. Right, that was their first movie.
Shelter. Yeah, AVPR.
What I know, some people don't like AVPR. They say it sucks more than the regular. I'll tell you right, AVP the original sucks so badly.
It's awful.
It's bad. AVPR is better than AVP. I'm gonna say it because it's more violent and it's more gory.
I barely remember AVPR. When you told me about the pregnant lady just now, that was like a sense memory that I came back and I was like, oh no, I've seen that. Oh god.
We should watch that. I feel like we won't get a copyright strike if you watch that. It's such an old fucking. It's been like.
Well, if it's on, we can do a watch party if any of these things are on Prime Video.
I'm down. I'll rent them.
Yeah. we can host watch parties for any of these things as long as they're on Prime.
This series is really me to get leverage to force Wes to bring me on Carrying Comfort.
Yeah, totally.
Carrying
of course.
Crunk.
Carrying Crunk. Well, that's the thing is it's like that's the whole thing is that like I'm going to be running Upon Her Altar for you guys at some point once we nail down a date. And I'm going to, like we talked about the break, I'm going to be doing if I can get the ability to do a stream, then I'm going to be doing a Alien Anthology stream.
That's going to be cool. That's fucking amazing.
Where it's going to be interconnected stories. There's one through line through all of them, but they're going to seem very that's the whole thing with like when I'm writing, like Upon Her Altar is the first thing, but they're all connected.
Yeah.
And like that's like I want there to be a through line, and I want it to be like American Horror Story where there's like a different cast, but there's some people that come back like that. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just
because there's so many people I want to run games for, and there's so many people I want to be on my stream.
We have talked about this. We have talked about like how many times I've told you about like I want to do like an American Horror Story stomp game. It's just like the same. Oh my god, we're kindred spirits, Wes. We're kindred spirits. Spending 79 reading the original book. I will say, if you want some good fiction, I really love the Alien canonical trilogy they put out with Sea of Sorrows, River of Pain, and
I need to read those. I was looking up all the books because they have 3 different series, right? They have like 3 different book series that came out, and that's the most recent one.
I don't know which one's considered canon. I know those 3 are considered canon. And it's actually pretty easy. They actually, which is really cool, they put out a young adult novel called Alien Echoes.
Yes.
Which I'm down. Yeah, the 3rd series. So it's Alien Out of the Shadows. Are they all considered?
Sea of Sorrow. They're considered canon, I think.
So you just don't. So it's just the 2nd series. Okay, so you just don't even like read the other ones.
Yeah, don't even read the first 2 series. Like you literally just read that series.
You literally just so it's Sea of Sorrow. So Alien Invasion. Which is about Predator. The Cold Forge, which I hear is good. Alien Echo.
Parker dying. God. Fuck.
Oh my god.
Should have kept it in.
Dude, Parker went out like a fucking champ, though. Man. Dallas. All right, well, I think we've reached the end of our stream. Thank you, everyone. I keep saying goodbye, and then we keep getting on something else. But thank you, Wes. Legitimately, like, you were my first choice.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got to talk about Alien, which I love this. It was my favorite game of last year. It was rewarded as the best product or best game of last year of the this year by the Ennies.
Yeah, the Ennies, yeah.
Free League won so big this year, and they
Borg and this and can't remember what else. I think it was just Morkborg in this, but Morkborg won for like 2 in this one.
Yeah. And now Twilight 2000 is coming back, which is a remake of another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's a good series. So we'll end you here. This is the end of our 2 parts. So you have about 6 hours worth of content about Alien and a little bit of shooting the shit with me and Wes.
I'm so glad to be able to launch this ship with you, your baby.
I know.
I got to smack a champagne bottle on the ass end of your baby.
And when the show finally dies, when I become too famous for my britches and extinguish Gehenna Gaming in the flames, you'll be there alongside with me as well. I'm what? What?
I think I'm the only person I know who's ever played Twilight 2000. What? Ian's not watching anymore. He's gone to bed by now.
Oh my god.
I hope. I don't know.
Well, I hope everyone's had a good time. I'm getting sleepy. Wes needs to get some sleep as well, even though it's only like 9 o'clock for you there. But thank you, everyone. You have a great night, and we'll catch you in 2 more weeks.
Follow me on Twitter, yo.
Oh, yo. Give your shout-outs. Where can they find you, Wes?
Okay, so you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BrotherXWes. That's brother spelled Brother X Wes.
Is there a Twitter thing?
Twitter ain't working. Twitter dead.
Twitter dead. Okay.
I'll go ahead and link them as I'm talking about them right here. www.twitter.com. No / after the com, you idiot keyboard. / Brother X Wes. So yeah, so that's Gehenna Gaming first. Noble Nick, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored. And then Brother X West, that's my personal account. That's where I talk the most shit. That's where I thirst after Robert Pattinson, the new Batman, or I give hot takes. Then it's not Carrion, it's Comfort. I'm all over the place. I couldn't get Carrion Comfort Studios because it didn't fucking fit.
Ignore that. Wait.
Yeah, ignore that. And then it's / Comfort. Boom, boom, boom. Carrion is my Twitch stream and YouTube's Twitter. That's where I'll be posting all the updates. We're finishing up Alien Isolation tomorrow, so that'll be great. I got about 4 hours left in that game, so that'll be the full stream. And then after that, you get to decide what game I play next. I'm playing only story and horror games. So the next options are going to be Control, Final Fantasy VIII, the start of the Uncharted series, or Life is Strange series.
When are you playing Dead Space with me?
Yeah, that's right. We should play Dead Space at some point.
That we could do that on GG stream. No worries.
Yeah, we'll do that on GG because I would love to play that. But yeah, so follow me. Let me know. Talk with me. I love talking about shit. Like always, I interact with people.
A lot of thirst.
A lot of thirst traps. That's why they call me Thirst Trap Mothman. Also, I sell T-shirts and other designs and stuff like that. If you go to thirsttrapmothman.threadless.com.
Link it, Wes. We've only gone 17 minutes over. It's fine.
Thirsttrapmothman.threadless.com. I have a bunch of different designs. I have one that says Ska's Not Dead. I have one that says Fight Your Dad. I have one I've got merch that promotes the new Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition stream that's coming out in October, Iron City by Night. It's set here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's never been done before, ever. Birmingham has only been mentioned in the World of Darkness in 6 pages in a Sabbat source book for the 1st edition. So, but at thirsttrapmothman.threadless.com, get a bunch of designs. I've got a bunch of wrestling T-shirts on there too that I'm designing. That's also where that's where a lot of the merch is going to be moving. Is over there. You gotta. I have a picture of it somewhere. 100% FDA approved himbo. All this stuff like that. I just dropped a new design. It's ACAB. 1312.
Okay, we can't say it on stream.
Can't say it on stream. ACAB, but it says all this stuff like that. 100% of the proceeds that I make from that T-shirt are going to be donated to Black Lives Matter. So that's the. So yeah. It's mirrored, but whatever. So yeah, so that's the latest design. It's all going to a good. It looks like the Dare shirt, if you remember Dare from school, but it says a cab instead. Yeah. I have a YouTube. I've only got 8 subscribers because I just started it. But that's where
some rookie numbers. Let's pump it up, guys.
Let's pump up those numbers. I know there's like over 500 people that I can get that are in the Gehenna Game Discord. If each of them followed me on
your
YouTube
OnlyFans
and on Twitter, I don't have an OnlyFans.
Not yet. You do.
Not yet. Let me get done with the 75 hard challenge, and then we'll see after that. But yeah, no, please follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, fucking follow me on YouTube. Let me link the Twitch here too. I know I'm rambling.
No,
sorry.
do it. It's okay. We're at the end. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, I typically don't like to like promote my own shit, but I'm promoting my own shit.
Yeah, fucking promote that shit.
But yeah, follow me on Twitch. We are I've got 92 followers right now, I think. I'm 8 followers away from doing a 12-hour charity stream where I'm going to be playing community games for 12 hours straight. And I'm also 8 followers away from touching my eyeball on stream. I'm going to almost do it here. But I made a promise in the Gehenna Gaming Discord that if I made 100 followers, that I would touch my eyeball on stream.
Why? Now explain us why you need to touch your eyeball on stream as this inspirational music plays.
I need to touch my eyeball in stream because I need to prove to some people that I have full control over my body and my mind. This is everything. I need to be able, I can touch. The YouTube. What's
Well, Wes, I'm gonna do a Hot Ones take promo for you. You've climbed up the mountain. You've made it to the top. You've gone through 6 hours with your boy across 2 separate nights, and you made the distance. And we talked about Alien the RPG, and we did it beautifully. Now all it's time is roll out the red carpet. You said your promo, you said your plug, but I want to hear my last question. How are you doing right now?
Man, you know what? Things in life are tough. We've got a lot going on. Our country's burning, and there's a global pandemic going on, and some countries are doing way better than us. But you know what? I'm smiling through the pain, man. I'm going through it. You know, some fuck shit has happened in my personal life. But you know what? I get up every day. I put my legs on 2 at a time because I'm an overachiever. And you know what? Depression sucks. But if you drink enough water and you stick in there, it's gonna be worth it.
And what would you? Okay, I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
And don't forget that even when you feel alone and you feel empty and you feel like there's nobody there for you, there are 2 people there that are always there for you. There's a xenomorph, there's an egg that's waiting for you, a face hugger that's waiting for you to latch onto your face because you have a purpose, and that's spreading the xenomorph across the universe. And then there's also me, Brother Wes. I'm always here for you.
You're missing a third person.
I'm missing a third person. Oh, there's there's the nobleman Nick, Orpheus himself. Brother Nick, here to support you. So if you feel alone or isolated or anything like that, you come on down to Big Nick and Big Wes's big old fun playhouse.
Game Emporium.
And you come and hang out. You talk with us. I'm always here. I am not kidding. I'm always here to talk about any shit that's going on in your life. I think it's important that we outreach with each other. And if anything, do not ever forget that comfort comes soon. I had to get my own tagline. Take a Sorry.
Thank you guys. We love you. Wes loves you. I love you, Wes. Super appreciate you being there. Sorry we're married. So that's at the end of the deep dive. Our first set of episodes. You have a great day. I love you all. Have a good night.
Have an excellent week. I love you all. Fuck, I love Alien.
Oh my god, everything's still going. We're gonna talk it out for just one more second.
We're gonna talk it out.
Thank you so much.
Of course. I am, dude. I can't. I'm so glad I got to do this with you. This is awesome.